somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones, produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope!
I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Wasn't that fun yesterday? Wasn't that a lot of fun? Really, I'd say once we started the show yesterday, guys, at 11 o'clock, it was pedal to the metal for like the next 6 to 7 hours. I mean, there's nothing more entertaining than listening to me and Matt Jones and Matt Travis and all of our usual guests and callers. But then, I mean, you could actually combine like the excitement of that with the biggest sporting event in the world for an hour from 1 to 2. That was a tense 90 minutes, 100 minutes with the U.S. and Wales tying, and then wow. Dunk City in Maui for Arkansas basketball in an 80-54 win. And we get to do it all over again tonight. Well, at least the basketball end of it, and this radio show too. How's it going back in the studio? Matt Jones, Matt Travis, are we fired up today?
You know we're always fired up after a big Razorback win.
That's the truth. Are we fired up after a draw, Matt Jones?
You know, the USA, they're saying, they're young. They're the second youngest team in the World Cup, and you say you're building for the future or whatever. But the build for the future would be win now. It only comes around every 4 years. But that being said, if we play good against England, I mean that's about what it was. We played better. We just made a mistake.
Well, and there's something to be said about if you were the team that had the lead. And then, if it had been
the other way around.
If it was the other way around, you might feel a little bit different about things. Hey, at least we're not Argentina today, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to get it going, huh?
I hear it's one of the, if not the biggest upset, one of the biggest upsets in the history of World Cup soccer.
I know last year or 2 years ago, Germany lost to Mexico in the last one. That was a pretty big upset.
Well, it was the first game. I hear Argentina's a slow starter. I hear that is a normal thing for them, but not losing to a country that was like ranked 60th or something like that. Kind of crazy. Well, Arkansas basketball did not have a slow start in the Maui Invitational. My goodness. It was the Anthony Black Show. It was the Anthony Black Show, and what a show he put on. 26 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, played 34.5 minutes. And drew 5 fouls, never missed a free throw, hit 3 threes. The Hogs hit 8 threes and 11 dunks. It just was dunk after dunk. And Black put on such a display. The team put on a great display against an overmatched Louisville club. So now you get this will be the best game of the young season so far tonight against Creighton. 2 teams ranked highly, 2 teams coming off good performances. And that means we get all of our usual midday programming today. Ruskin and Zach don't get any time off like they got yesterday because you got a 7 o'clock game.
How cool is that gym, though? That's a pretty cool-looking gym, huh? A high school gym? Would that be fun?
Well, they called it a souped-up high school gym on the telecast. And I don't know any high school gyms that have that funky of a display in the paint. Like, I mean, if you're going to have a basketball tournament that is sponsored by a sunglass company that calls themselves Maui Gym, and you got all the players and all the coaches that have their own Aloha shirt. They're not Hawaiian shirts; they're Aloha shirts. Then you might as well make the paint look just like it. The biggest Aloha shirts I've ever seen. I've never seen paint quite like that before. And I thought it's the craziest look I'd seen on a basketball court.
It's pretty neat.
But then I'm reminded, Matt, you ever see, what is it, Oregon? I think it's Oregon.
I don't like it. The forest, the way that you can't tell This one, at least there's definition. You can tell where the 3-point line is, where the lane is. I thought this one was pretty cool. And I usually am a big fan of what anything Oregon does. That I usually like everything they do.
Yeah, but watching a basketball game on their court, at least
It's
on
hard.
television, it's different when you're there. It's like the first football broadcast I ever did, play-by-play, was at UCA when I worked for Henderson. UCA on the stripes, first football game I ever did play-by-play, but that gave me a headache.
I didn't like Boise State's field either. That was kind of weird. Yeah.
The one with the red field, that's Eastern Washington.
Oh no.
But it's a bright red field as far as I know. Well, the court looked great. The fans, I mean, that was another aspect of this too. The Razorback fans were all over the gym. They everywhere.
Travel well.
I heard Chuck and Zim talking about it on the Learfield pregame. And then I think it was Jay Billis that mentioned it, that the send-off from the hotel was larger than a send-off than you get at an NCAA tournament game. And, Chuck and Zim would know as far as seeing the send-offs for tournament games. But, wow, I mean, it really seems like you've got, I don't know how many people are out there that are Razorback fans. You have a few hundred. I mean, how many can you fit in the gym to begin with? Is it like a 2,500-seat gym?
It's got to be a fun atmosphere, man. That would be so fun to be a part of that. What do they go every 6 years? That has to be a recruiting tool that you use to go out there. That has to be just a fun environment.
Well, you got to have your program at a certain level in order to get invited, right? Well, at least in recent memory, and I guess that's one of the wild things about seeing Louisville now 0-4. You can just stop talking about the 1-point losses because Arkansas is no mid-major team. But I guess they also lost to a Division II team in their preseason exhibition. So yeah, the rest of the field. I mean, you saw Creighton and Texas Tech have a pretty well played early season basketball game. Those are two teams you expect to see in the tournament, no doubt about that. And that was, I mean, it feels like it's the best that Arkansas has played this year. And, I mean, one other interesting aspect, too, was seeing Nick Smith on the bench, fired up. I only saw him a couple of times. I had my eyes on a couple of other things, but I did have the game on, and I'm watching all of it. And it looked like Smith, did I see him, like, almost get up and sort of like a half jump to cheer the team on for a moment, which I guess he's still not practicing.
But he's moving well
yesterday. But, I mean, it looked,
that's a good sign, yeah.
But somebody being on a bench and what's happening in a basketball practice are two totally different things. But that's right, Matt. I mean, it looked like he moved well for at that moment kind of just, being waving the towel in a sense. They called him, he was like an extra assistant coach during the timeout. So he's engaged. He's engaged in it, Matt. And when I see that, it's like for somebody that some folks think he won't play at all this year, he looks like he's into the team. He was into the game yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. And I think you just got to handle him with care. When you get those blue chip, the one and done guys, you want to make sure he's healthy and make sure he's right. The team's getting better. It'll take him a little bit to get back into playing shape. You wonder if when he comes back, if you run him with that second group, if you to get him going, or if you just drop him right back into the starting lineup, or you kind of wonder how that gets done, especially when the Hogs are playing so well.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, what happens tonight, not just on the court, but also on the sidelines.
And there's something about just running up and down the court, Phil, when you're on the side, just training, and then to actually getting out there and playing. It does take 4, 5, 6 games to really get into game shape. You can be in all the shape you want to be in, but to actually get in there and get the flow of the game and get that going, it does take a few games.
Well, the rest of the team is in game shape, man. I'll tell you that. I mean, they were clowning Louisville for a while there, and once you got midway through the second half, I guess 7 minutes left or something. Well, you see one of the worst inbound passes of all time after a dunk by Arkansas. They steal it at midcourt, get Black another dunk just like that. So it was a highlight reel for a full 40 minutes, is what it felt like yesterday at the Maui Invitational. So also yesterday, Sam Pittman spoke with the media, and some of you had some questions early, I think even yesterday, about Jalen Catalon, what is he planning to do? Coach Pittman said that he'll probably make that announcement, meaning Catalon would make that announcement on Friday as to whether he's going to come back or whether he's moving on to whatever's next. We got word about Bumper Pool. There's some interesting comments involving Quincy McAdoo and the possibility of maybe playing two ways once he returns for a sophomore season. So a lot of that to get to. We've got Chuck Barrett joining us on halftime from Maui. I kind of wondered, what's the time differential between?
About 5 hours.
Is it 5 hours?
5 to 6,
Chuck,
yeah.
All right, so this is sort of like Chuck doing the morning rush.
So it's about, 6 o'clock in the morning there if it's noon here, something like that?
So
yeah.
Sounds about right. I mean, I thought, hey, just let him sleep. He's got a night game tonight.
There was...
but old habits are hard to break, especially when you're doing morning radio 3 times a week.
When I was in Jacksonville, there was 3 guys on the team that were from Hawaii, so that when they would call their wives or call their kids back home, it was always, the time difference is totally different. It's like 8 hours, 7 hours difference from Florida to there, yeah.
It would completely screw me up if I had to think about that on a daily basis, but I guess you get used to it. Chuck's only there for, 3 more days. So we'll get his thoughts on basketball from yesterday and whatever the team's got going on today. And wonder if you surf on a game day. Probably not. And your calls and texts throughout the show. Clay Henry will join us in hour number 2. We'll be giving away a $25 gift certificate to Alumni Hall for Name That Hog. We've got the Matt Jones Soccer Minute. Lots going on on halftime on this Thanksgiving week Tuesday. So stay with us. Voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, next on halftime.
Having fun, and it makes me feel so fine. I can't control my brain.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
We fought back. We took a punch, and we answered back.
He's going to go! Johnson's at midfield, and there he goes! 98 yards. Keith, I saw it, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129.
If you're particular about your lawn, when nothing else matters except those perfectly cut stripes, that is your defining moment when you know you want a Skag zero-turn mower. Simply the best, hands down. When no other mower will cut it, stop by Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma and pick out your new Skag zero-turn mower and be the envy of your neighborhood. Come by today to see the full lineup of Skag zero-turn mowers at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Up to $12,000 off on premium pre-owned vehicles at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The biggest savings are right on the front row. The manager specials, huge variety, great selection, and even bigger savings with up to $12,000 off. Most of these vehicles still have factory warranty remaining, so you can buy with confidence. And nobody will pay more for your trade than Harry Robinson. Up to $12,000 off on pre-owned vehicles. Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good Thing Dent Source, LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source, LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source, LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source, LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street, across from Play It Again Sports, or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drugstore still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
The way she moves her hips up to her fingertips, I feel I'm heaven bound. And when she starts to sway, I've gotta say, she really moves the grass around.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hula skirts, aloha shirts, pigs roasting on a spit. It's just another day in Arkansas. No, it's another day in Hawaii, Maui, where our friend Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, is checking in here on halftime. Chuck, I wondered if we'd have you on today, but then I'm reminded this is sort of when you'd be on in the morning rush for a usual day. I think you've been up for a while today.
Well, it's prime time now. It's there's a 4-hour difference. By the way, I'm supposed to say aloha, guys. So aloha from Hawaii.
Aloha.
Yeah, there's a 4-hour time difference. So this is prime morning time right now.
Samsonite. I was way off.
You can say aloha when we're done with the segment, too. I mean, it works both ways. It's one of the great things about that.
You know, I didn't realize this. It's hello, goodbye, and it also means I love you. So, it can mean a lot of things. I didn't know that, but it does.
Isn't there a song, Matty T? Starts off like one of my favorite 70s songs like that.
Yeah, Matt would know that as far as that music is concerned. So, I mean, it's all good feelings after that performance last night. Was it night? It was yesterday afternoon for us. I guess it was sort of late in the morning for you guys. But man, they really put on a show
yesterday.
Yeah,
they played great. They, Anthony Black was awesome. He was just, everything you'd hope he would be. I mean, 26 points, and I mean, he had, he rebounded the ball. He got assists. I mean, he's the real deal. And they just. It was a 5-point game there early in the second half, and then they just destroyed them after that. And Louisville's not real good this year. This is going to be a big game today. I mean, you got a top 10 matchup. Guys, Arkansas has not played a regular season top 10 matchup since 1995.
Wow.
That's how long it's been since it's been a top 10 matchup in the regular season. Played Kentucky in January of 95. So this is a big game. This is probably I think it's the 4th top 10 game in college basketball so far this year. They had 3 last week, and this will be the 4th one.
What does? Yeah, I was going to ask you, Chuck. It doesn't seem like on those 4 wins that the teams we played, there's a lot of those players would be in this rotation for the Razorbacks. But when you look at Creighton, what do they do well? You know they're going to be a well-coached team, but what are some of their strengths?
Yeah, I watched them play Texas Tech. Watched the second half from the scores table there, and they're good. They move the ball well. They throw it well. There were a couple of plays, off the baseline. They drive the baseline and hit the cutters well coming to the basket. They did that a lot in the second half against Texas Tech. I don't know if they do that every game, but they were impressive. They're a good team. They shoot the ball well. They got a couple of big guys. Now, they've got one big guy inside, one of their better players, Kalkbrenner, and he sprained his ankle. He rolled his ankle a couple of times in the game yesterday. He had 10 points, had 6 rebounds, and he's a good player. He's a big guy. He rolled his ankle a couple of times, so I don't know what he's going to be able to give him today or tonight, but they're really good. Based on what I saw yesterday, it's going to be a really good game.
So, Arkansas has been getting to the rim so easily this year, and they did it the entire game against Louisville. I guess that's the thing that I wonder is when you face a team that has maybe the same kind of athlete that you have, and especially an experienced team. Like when I think of an experienced team like Creighton, it means they know how to defend together, and that makes it much more difficult to get to the rim. We might have to see a little more. You think you got to make some more shots from the outside in a game like this?
Well, you might. They shot a few more yesterday and made more than they have, and really at times were legitimate threats there behind the line. I think that's going to be one of the interesting things is how Creighton stops Arkansas off the dribble. How do they go about doing it? Arkansas is better athletically. If it's a one-on-one matchup, Arkansas is going to beat them to the rim a lot. But you're right. They'll play team defense. They'll communicate. They'll help and switch and do all that stuff. So, again, I just think it's going to be a good game. I think it's a real test. I know they played Texas in that exhibition game, but, man, for what we're seeing right now, Texas may be the best team in the country. I don't know. But, this will be obviously their biggest test in the regular season so far.
Chuck, what's the best thing y'all have eaten on the island? I know if you have the team meals or if y'all get to go, what's something maybe that's been a little different that you like out there?
I've not really gone anything different yet, Matt. I slept a lot when I got here Sunday afternoon. To be honest with you, we've just eaten like the usual fare here.
Do you
at the
do
hotel.
some ahi tuna?
There was ahi tuna on the menu last night. I had some ahi tuna tacos.
There you go.
And they were good. They were good. So that's about as exotic as I've gone so far.
A little mango and avocado and cabbage or something, and
that was good. Yeah. There was some stuff there on the side with it. It was good.
So chances are, Chuck, you're not going to be attempting. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. I tried it when I was in Maui.
I have had poi.
What do you think of it?
Oh, I think it's okay. The last time we were here, I went to the luau and all that. They had that Sunday night, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I was dog-tired and I didn't go. But, it was a lot of fun. They had a luau, and I think Dunning won the hula contest. So they had a big time. And, Muss did the right thing. He brought them out here, and they left early Friday. They had a lot of Friday left when they got here. They had full day on Saturday, and that's when they went surfing and did all their stuff, and then kind of began to get down to business on Sunday, and obviously they were ready to play yesterday.
Yeah, how fun! Just to get out there, go surfing, then whoop them. And yeah, your thoughts on that Arkansas Ole Miss game? I guess it's the first time we've talked to you since then, and how they looked. I thought that defense, man, I thought they looked sharp. I know they say they give up a lot of yards, but man, I think that defense kind of set the tempo right for them.
Well, I think everybody, if you want to look at the yards Ole Miss got, and look, they got a lot of yards. They moved up and down the field, but it was 42-6. The game was over.
Right.
And up until that point, they'd been a lot, but they'd never broken. And, this is an Ole Miss team that puts up a lot of points. And they put up a lot of yardage just like they normally do. But the thing Arkansas was able to do was keep them out of the end zone until it didn't matter. again, stats can tell you part of the story. Stats never tell you the whole story. And, statistically, Ole Miss had a great game offensively, but at the end of the night, they, after the first half anyway, I mean, they didn't have a chance to win the game. All they were doing was piling up numbers in the second half.
I mean, and so the only number you really needed to know was 42-6. I mean, at that point, it was done. Once Rocket took it to the house in that second play of the third quarter,
he was fun, huh?
It was over.
Well, here's the thing you got to think about is that, first off, it was a cold night. They've been beaten up. I mean, this team's had injury after injury all season long. They shut it down. I mean, Coach Pittman said after the game, he said, I might have shut it down a little too soon, but I don't know about that. I mean, you look at the final score and you look at the yards and, I guess you could make that argument. But at that point, you're up 42-6. You've got the game won. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
I mean, it's a cold night. You got to play Missouri. You're bowl eligible. Let's get out of here. Not get anybody hurt. And, it got a little bit out of control there. At points, it was almost like a basketball game at times, I mean, one team was way behind. They were making a run, but you knew they weren't going to win. And that's just kind of how the second half played out for me anyway.
What do you think with this Missouri game? Do you think it's going to be a matter of motivation? Which team wants it more? Does Missouri want it because they need to be bowl eligible? Does Arkansas, are they motivated to go to a better bowl? I mean, it's kind of weird how these young kids think these days.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And, I mean, I think that's going to be one of the interesting things to watch on Friday. Missouri does have a lot to play for. I'm going to tell you guys, I thought Missouri at the start of the year was one of the worst SEC teams I'd ever seen. I just thought they were horrible. I really didn't think Drinkwitz would still be their coach by the time we got to this game, and I'll admit that. They're not good, but they've gotten better as the season's gone on, and he's obviously not lost his team, and that's to his credit, because it really looked like early in the year it could go either way. But they, they've kept it together. I think they've maxed out in terms of wins. I think they've maxed out about as good as they are. Arkansas is better than Missouri. Doesn't mean they'll win, but Missouri's got a lot to play for. Arkansas is bowl eligible, but I still think there's that tier of about 5 bowls in there, and some are better than others. The Gator Bowl's in there. I don't know if you can go to the Gator Bowl at 7-5, maybe. I'm interested to see how this Vegas Bowl fits into the SEC's plans as we move forward. It's on a rotation basis with a belt bowl now, but I got a feeling because they've moved to the Raiders Stadium and because, sports in general just seems to be all in on Vegas right now. And I think that bowl is going to get a lot bigger, and I'll be interested to see what the SEC does in terms of team placement there this year in anticipation of what may come. Because, look, let's be honest. It's closer for our fans to go to Memphis and Nashville, but Vegas is probably a better trip for the players. There's no way Charlotte is a better bowl than Vegas. There's just no way. And so I think that's in play. I think that would be in play at 6-6. Obviously, Memphis would be in play at 6-6. But, if you can win this ball game impressively, and you kind of let the chips fall where they may on the other games, you never know. But, again, there's that kind of group of 5 bowls there. They're probably going to go to one of them, but a couple of them seem like they're a whole lot better than the other 3.
I think that Vegas Bowl might be more attractive also because it's not at the UNLV football stadium anymore. It's at a real NFL stadium that is unique, and it's a little earlier. I mean, in this day and age of college football, maybe getting the bowl game over earlier helps out with your ability to, in an honest way, put your team back together again, which is what coaches have to do in December and January.
I think this bowl probably is in its last year or 2 as a December 17th bowl, as an early bowl. This is going to be a bigger bowl. It'll be between Christmas and New Year's pretty shortly.
That would make a lot of sense. All right, we got Chuck for another segment. If you want to get on with us, we can take calls. We can take texts, 877-377-6963. And we got another giveaway going on at hitthatline.com right now. It's brought to you by Champion Cycling. They want to help you find the joy in cycling that's been part of their family for years. Register right now at hitthatline.com. You can do it through December 22nd. You got a chance to win a Specialized road bicycle, one adult and one kid's Specialized road bike, just in time for the Christmas holidays. So whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or somebody who just wants to be at the podium at their next race, Champion Cycling has the bike for you. Great selection of bike, cycling apparel, and accessories, plus great service at Champion Cycling, 5500 Massard Road in Fort Smith. And make sure you register for the Champion Cycling bicycle giveaway at hitthatline.com right now. More of Chuck Barrett on Halftime after this break.
Smoke meat, show you pokey with the rice can make a bad day feel real nice. I'm flashing back all over again. I know you feel what I'm feeling with it.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators, WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Checking in again at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tyler, when it comes to Bronco Sports, the surrounding area dealerships will just have to show them pictures. But at Randall, you have more than just 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you've got a bunch of them.
That's right, Jimmy. We've got 10 here in stock right now. We've got, various different colors. We've got Area 51. We've got Kodiak Brown. We've got silver. We've got black. We've got a little bit of everything here.
Cyber Orange, too.
Cyber Orange, too. All under factory warranty, too.
Yeah, they're all brand new and ready to be test-driven and taken home today. The advantage of the Bronco Sport is they're sporty looking. You get that four-wheel drive feeling, and you're going to get pretty good gas mileage as well.
That's it. It literally fits all the needs. You've got cargo space in the back. You get good fuel mileage, and it's a sporty-looking four-wheel drive ride.
There you go. All they got to do is ask for Tyler.
That's right. Ask for Tyler here at Randall Ford.
There you go. Come by and see us. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Metal Direct offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Direct assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by their location at 7420 Inmar Drive in Little Rock, 1 block off University behind Napa Auto Parts, or call them at 501-562-3112. Metal Direct, the right material for the right price.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drugstore still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City! To you, sweetheart, aloha, aloha from the bottom of my heart. Keep the smile on your lips, brush the tear from your eye. One more aloha, then it's time for goodbye.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Chuck Barrett with us here for another segment on Halftime. You're a coffee drinker, Chuck. You got the Kona. Got the what's the brand, the kind that they make in Hawaii that's known well? Kona coffee, is that it?
I think so, yeah. I went and made a coffee run yesterday. They've got Keurigs in this hotel, so I had to go make a little Keurig run and get me some coffee pods. And, yeah, they're big on coffee out here. It's strong, and I like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's delicious. So I listened yesterday to Sam Pittman's presser, and it sounds like we might have seen the last of Bumper Poole in an Arkansas uniform. It doesn't sound like he's playing on Friday, and Coach Pittman even raised a lot of doubt, is what it sounded like, that Bumper could play in the bowl game too.
You know, it sounds like it might be done based on, what he said yesterday. And obviously, I'm not there, so I've not been privy to any conversations on that. But just from the outside looking in, it kind of sounds like it's done. Matt, you can probably speak to this better than anybody, but, Bumper's been here 6 years. And, I was looking at, Dalton Wagner's been here 6 years. I think he played in his 49th game this past weekend. He'll play 51 games before his Razorback career is done. Matt, that's an NFL career right there in terms of wear and tear on your body. And I know it's not the NFL, but, it's still a physical grind. I can only imagine what it's like. And, it just sounds like his body's taking about all it can take.
Yeah, Chuck, I mean, Bumper Poole to put his body through that, Daniels as well. But anybody that comes to the University of Arkansas and ends up leading their team in tackles, he's going to have some dings. He's going to have some bruises. He's going to have forever. That's just the nature of the beast. I think we all know that when we sign up for it. We have little walks and little things that we don't do as good. And Bumper, man, he put his heart and soul out there for the Razorbacks. And so do all these kids. A lot of these kids do. And if he can't play again, then that's we wish him well, and he'll always be a Hog, man.
Chuck, it's like I think Bumper and Dalton they're going to end up occupying some I think unique space in the history of Razorback football. And part of it is because of the pandemic and the added year of eligibility, but it's also what they've been through. I mean, the coaching staffs, the winless seasons in the SEC, and now helping put the program on stable footing, and the fact that 6 years doesn't happen very much in college sports.
Well, I think both these guys will be easily identifiable for Razorback fans forever. And I would liken it, again to the pros where, when a guy plays 8-10 years in one place, he becomes part of the community. He becomes part of the conversation every day. People feel like he's family. And then you've got a free agent that comes in, plays there for a year or two, gives you a couple of great seasons, and then goes somewhere else. You're glad he came, but you don't have that love affair like you do with somebody who's been there 5 or 6 years. And I think that with the transfer portal now in college sports, you do have players. It's almost like a rent-a-player deal, getting a guy at the trade deadline in pro sports. I mean, it's when you're going to lose him at the end of the season, you take him and you're glad that you have what you have when he's there. But I just think when you've got guys like Bumper and Wagner who've been there a long time, and obviously the COVID year did give him that extra season. But I think there's a relationship you build with the fan base. You know, the guy that really nobody has worked harder to play than Dorian Gerald. And I know that he's not a household name necessarily. He's not a guy that played so much that the fans feel the same way about him that they do about Bumper and Dalton. But Dorian got hurt. It seemed like every season opener there for about 3 years in a row he'd get a season-ending injury. And he was never the same when he came back this year, but he played and he stayed healthy all year. And if you noticed on Saturday night, I mean, he's playing in meaningful situations with the way they rotate that defensive line. So, all those guys put themselves through a lot to do this, and I think fans appreciate that.
Yes, they have. They'll be synonymous Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the family forever. It's pretty cool. It's I forget about that COVID year. I'm trying to think, Chuck. Stephen Harris was the guy that got hurt and got an extra year, and it is when you get to be there 5 or 6 years. There's always a guy around there like that.
You guys are too young to remember, but SMU had a quarterback, Ramon Flanagan, who he was a sixth-year senior. He'd gotten a couple of season-ending injuries. Back then, you had to apply for the hardship, and he did that. And a sixth-year guy at the time was just unheard of. I mean, it was just you just never had anything like that happen. But now with COVID, it's commonplace, and we'll cycle out of all this at some point. But you think about what we saw Saturday night. We saw a bunch of seniors walk, and a whole bunch of them are going to be back next year. They won't walk next year. But that's just kind of the aftermath of COVID. But we'll cycle out of this at some point.
You know what else we saw Saturday, Chuck, was a team in Ole Miss that was almost completely remade through the transfer portal. It blew me away that not a single player that gained a yard for them this year gained a yard against Arkansas in last year's game. So, I mean, and look, this isn't just about Ole Miss. It's about college football. It's about the world of college sports. Sam Pittman, it was like he tried to ready the media members in the presser yesterday for what's going to happen next Monday. Yeah. And this, it's not about like who's leaving and who's coming and going. It's just like we have to be ready in our minds for there are going to be teams on Monday that are totally, well, not remade yet because you're not getting your players coming in, but like it's going to be chaos is what it's going to feel like next week.
Well, you think about what LSU went through, when Kelly was hired, when they had their transition, all the players that left, all the guys that entered into the portal, and by the time they began their new season, it was a completely remade roster. And, it was almost like a basketball season, and they started slow and then, put it together as the year went on. And we'll see more of that. I mean, Arkansas is getting ready to do it. That's the way the game's played now, guys. And you think about the pros, when you lose a player to free agency, at least there's a compensatory draft pick. At least you get something. College ball, a guy leaves, it's adios. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So you can try to talk him out of it, but and look, there's guys being rated off rosters right now with NFL or with NIL money. Let's just tell the truth. I mean, it's happening in college football right now. Rosters are being tampered with. You get fined for that in the pros.
Chuck,
I don't know that there are enough rules in college sports right now to even govern that.
When did it start where you didn't have to sit out a year? Is that a window now that they do it, or when was that actually a thing?
Well, you've got a one-time transfer rule now.
Okay.
You can transfer one time without sitting out. Now, the second time you do it, this part's been recently enacted. Second time you do it, you got to sit out a year. So these guys that start at one school, go to another school, and then go to a third school without having to sit out any, that's going to go by the wayside. But you'll have a one-time transfer where you can go anywhere you want and play the next season.
All right, so a normal Thanksgiving for people that broadcast college sports means you never really have a normal Thanksgiving. You've been doing this long enough now, so when is the last time, Chuck, that you actually had something that could be classified as a normal American Thanksgiving?
Well, when you play a Friday game against Missouri and it's in-state, you basically have half a Thanksgiving. You can go spend the day with your family, but you've got to be back up in Fayetteville Thanksgiving night. Now, obviously, when you're on the road in football in a normal year, you play on Friday, which means you travel Thanksgiving Day, which means you don't have a Thanksgiving. This year, I'm going to be thankful to be back in Arkansas and be able to sleep for a little while before we go to Missouri, because I'm told, and I've experienced it before, this jet lag coming back is what gets you. So, but yeah, look, if you do this, if you broadcast college sports, you're not going to spend many Thanksgivings at home. That's just par for the course. And, Phil, I know how it is when you do baseball. I think I went 20 years, over 20 years, 23 years without ever being home for Easter. So, that's just it's part of the deal. It's a good trade. Everything's a trade-off in life, and that's one of the things that is not good. But I'm also in Hawaii this morning, so I'm not complaining.
With your Kona coffee. That's right.
Yeah, with my Kona coffee. So it's still a pretty good gig.
Easter for you, Chuck. I haven't had a regular Passover in a long, long time, so I don't know when I'll get one of those again. Matzah for everybody.
Well, okay. All right. I didn't word it quite right. Pardon me there.
No. I know. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you Friday at 4-0 Field, Chuck. Thanks for coming on today, and have a good call
guys.
tonight.
Thanks,
All
Chuck.
right. Thank you, guys.
It's Chuck Barrett, voice of the Hogs. 6:30 airtime from the Lahaina Civic Center in Maui, Arkansas, and Creighton. Hey, don't miss out on this Friday. They're doing it this Friday at Cheap Sleep Mattresses and Furniture in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. They got the Split King adjustable bed mattress included for $8.99. You can get the Kennedy sofa and love seat brown and gray, both for only $8.99. There's limited availability on that one. Ashley Hazeltine 5-piece dining set is only $3.99. Tons of savings going on right now at the Black Friday sale at Cheap Sleep Mattresses and Furniture in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. Kennedy sectional brown gray for only $4.99, and limited availability on that one too. Black Friday doors opening at 10 a.m. on Friday, and the first 15 people to Cheap Sleep Mattresses and Furniture will receive 25% off your entire purchase. And then the next 10 customers get 15% off. So be at the door, banging on it. Let them know you want to get in. 10 o'clock in the morning, Cheap Sleep Furniture and Mattresses, Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. All right, wrapping up hour number 1 of halftime after this.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
What's the room again?
1080, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Hey, don't touch that. It's gross.
Here we are. Got the key?
You have them.
Oh, great. It's not working.
Try flipping it over.
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
Okay.
Why can't we go inside?
Flip it over.
I'm tired. Oh my gosh.
Give me yours.
Really? You have mine.
Oh, yeah, right.
Really?
I'm tired. Oh my
Try
gosh.
this.
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Breeden RV. Highway 64 between Alma and Van Buren.
West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services wants you to know that holidays are right around the corner. So if a turkey leg falls into the garbage disposal and you can't retrieve it, call 646-5151. Uncle Bob overflows the toilet and the plunger won't work. Call 646-5151. No hot water for Aunt Sally's shower? Water heater on the fritz? Call 646-5151. Have a happy holidays from West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. Call 646-5151.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
It's getting colder outside. Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. So why pay more to heat your home and water? The convenience and abundant supply of American-produced natural gas makes it the right choice. Call 784-2000 or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station. Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it looks like we got somebody who just took advantage of that phone number that you just heard here on Halftime, and it is Eddie who's with us. Eduardo, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, man. They gave you something to be thankful for Saturday night at Razorback Stadium. Basketball did the same yesterday. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man, and I just want to take an opportunity to wish you, sir, all the Halftime crew, you, Matt, and Maddie, you know, just the entire Hog Nation, a very happy Thanksgiving from my heart to yours.
Yes, sir.
And, you know,
thank you,
I
Eddie.
mean, certainly we are blessed. You know what I mean? And when you talk about, yeah, I had a little, you know, what I call hog delight baking in the oven Saturday night up in the Hall Pound. And when I was looking at Rocket, man, when I go down memory lane, I thought I was looking at number 5, Darren McFadden. What a game the young man had. I'm so happy for the seniors that went out winners, that made a decision to come out. And that was, to me, the most balanced game we played all year.
That was fun. It's fun to watch.
How great is that?
Thanksgiving is here.
And how about this opportunity? We're going to have an opportunity come Friday after we gather with our families and close friends Thursday and to call the Hogs up in Columbia. And still a lot to play for, you know, a pretty decent bowl, and I've seen predictions all over. But my favorite prediction would be to still have an opportunity to go to the Gator Bowl. How about playing the Irish? You know, and so I hope that comes to place, but no matter where we go, we'll be calling the Hogs.
So Hog Delight this time around, Eddie, is it going to be main course at Thanksgiving, or is it dessert, or is this Hog Delight's probably really good as leftovers once it's in the fridge for a night, isn't it? Once it congeals?
That's exactly right, sir. But if you'd be so gracious, I called in the other day, 4 years of date, I received the most tragic news any parent could receive. And this fan base embraced me. My Walmart family, my UPS family embraced me. I mean, just people across this country embraced me and my family. And Bo Manley, so many others I could not thank. But I'd just like to, I read this the other morning, I don't know if you knew or not. I never had the opportunity to meet Coach Chad Morris. And certainly I would like to meet the man. But in my most devastated need, I'd like to just read this briefly, a card he sent me. I'm so sorry to hear your family's loss. As I love my family, I could not imagine for you and your family during this most difficult time. I appreciate your passion and love for the Razorbacks. My thoughts and prayers will always be with you, Coach Chad Morris. And then he enclosed a sizable check that, I put in a fund for my grandkids, Luke and Lauren. Isn't that something? Never met the man.
Is. I was unaware of that, Eddie. And hey, man, you are one of the most emotional Razorback fans that I know. And certainly one of the most emotional people that calls into this show, and it's because you have a true love and passion for the Razorbacks. But I know that love and passion goes to all the other things that are important to you in your life. And I know that also was your son, and I know that's really painful to bring up again. And I hope you've been able to recover, Eddie, because we love you.
Well, sir, I love all the fan base. I'll always blow the whistle, and we're going to be blowing it Friday in Columbia.
You got that right, Eddie.
My call, gentlemen.
You got that right. Thank you for listening to our show, and thank you for just being you and not being afraid of that.
Love you
should
back.
All be like that.
Love you
all
back,
right.
Eddie.
Clay Henry joins halftime after this quick break.
Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale starting Monday, November 21st through the 26th. Except for Thanksgiving Day, Frank Rowe Furniture will have a new shipment of Made in the USA furniture marked down with unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. You heard it right. Unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale, November 21st through the 26th. Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house.
Up to $12,000 off on premium pre-owned vehicles at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The biggest savings are right on the front row. The manager specials, huge variety, great selection, and even bigger savings with up to $12,000 off. Most of these vehicles still have factory warranty remaining, so you can buy with confidence. And nobody will pay more for your trade than Harry Robinson. Up to $12,000 off on pre-owned vehicles. Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hardee's new Charbroiled Double Deals, starting at $2.99 each, have the Academy for New Offerings hailing this double cheeseburger deal as very new indeed. How much more new does it get than the new Bacon Double Cheeseburger and the new California Classic Double Cheeseburger? Not much newer than that. Well, I've got news for the Academy. After this, I'm getting myself a double cheeseburger from this new deal. The new Charbroiled Double Deal, starting at $2.99 each at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Visit restaurant or app for details.
Think it's tough to hire a lawyer? Try being married to one. I'm Matt Mock, sports marketing consultant and husband at Mock Legal Solutions. When my wife came to me about opening her own firm right here in our hometown, we decided on 4 core values that as a client we both wanted in our lawyers: affordability, accessibility, convenience, and results. At Mock Legal Solutions, we pride ourselves on customer service, and we are grateful for all of our past, current, and future clients. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Call today for a free consultation, 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will climb into the upper 50s. Later on tonight, mainly clear, and overnight low will drop down to near 35. We will see an increase in the cloud cover Wednesday, upper 50s. Thanksgiving Day, chance of showers, highs in the 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Brewer to Jones for the slam. How about Matt Jones? Did he sky?
Weekdays from 11 to 2.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Rock on three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, so we had Chuck Barrett on from Tropical Paradise, Maui, during hour number 1, and now we got another tropical paradise up near the North Fork River. Clay Henry's with us here on Halftime. Hi, Clay.
It's pretty nice here. I think it's going to be about 63, 64 here today.
Good.
That's great weather for November.
Great day to get in the North Fork River and surf.
Yeah, I'm going to take a 6-year-old to Dry Run Creek, which if you Google that, you'll find out that's pretty much paradise for kids.
How cool. I know that's going to be fun for both you guys.
Yeah, we'll have fun. Wyatt's fired up. He's going to have to watch a soccer game while we do radio, though.
He's as much of a soccer guy right now, Matt, as you are. So
we've watched plenty of soccer at my house. Sarah's here. She played college soccer, so she's here for a week, and she's an assistant principal at Bonnie Grimes in Rogers. So
nice.
She played at Northeastern State, and so I get to sit with her and learn a lot about soccer, which is good.
Sounds like you got a big old family Thanksgiving going on this week.
It's going to be
Clay.
good. Yep. Got 2 chickens going to throw on the smoker plus a rack of ribs.
I didn't hear anything about turkey. Where's the turkey?
No, I do the chickens instead. 2 whole chickens, everybody. We'll have probably 10 or 11 here.
Sounds good, man. I mean, appreciate the invite. I will be headed up that way.
Sorry, Phil.
I will be headed up that way on Thursday. I will. I got to head up to Columbia for.
Oh, you'll be coming right up 65, won't you?
I will not be far. That's right.
That's about 30 miles west. You could actually come through Highway 5 and do it, and then you would be a mile from my house.
This is awesome because now I'm going to figure out a way to get 2 Thanksgivings.
It's 6 o'clock Thursday night.
I can get one. At let's see. I got to be at a Learfield dinner at 7. Oh man, if only you were doing the lunch thing. But hey,
no, we're going to do dinner. Yeah.
But hey, it's all right. See, we got.
I'll meet you like at the Sonic in Harrison.
Just hand me a bag of food. I might not be able to show up at the table. Might not be a seat for me either. So many people at the Henry homestead.
Yeah, you'd fit in.
Yeah, just because you.
Everybody knows Phil.
They'll listen to anything that you tell them to do.
No, I mean they all know you, Phil. They listen to you on baseball games, and Jean Ann's she's driving. She took the dog to the dog spa, so she'll be nice and fluffy for. This is our 13-year-old chocolate lab, so she's probably on her way back. She's listening. She thinks Matt has been a wonderful addition. And I don't know why she says that, Matt.
I'm glad someone thinks so.
Yeah,
way too kind. I don't know. I'm always surprised when I get invited back.
No, I think you're on for good.
Don't worry, Matt. I think your employee badge will work when you show up tomorrow. Do we have employee badges? Do we have
and
those
a parking
things?
spot.
Yeah. You don't have a key to the
spot.
building yet, but don't worry, I don't either.
Matt, how far is it from your house to the station?
Man, it's not bad at all. It's
it's like a par 5.
You know, when I lived in Jacksonville, when I moved down to Jacksonville and got a job for, you know, as far as, you know, you do something you love, it's never a job. But, you know, job when I moved down there, I moved right by work. You know, like I like to be within 5 minutes, 10 minutes to work, get in there, makes it nice.
Yeah, I can walk down to the fly shop. I like doing that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting to use the term out. I mean, and it is. It's a job. When you're a football player, it's a job. You're getting paid for it. That makes it a job. I saw where the Broncos put Melvin Gordon on waivers for another fumble, and I thought to myself,
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a different way of saying they fired him. That's basically what it is. You put on waivers, you've been fired, right?
Well, somebody can pick you up and keep paying your contract, but if nobody picks you up, then it's also as on you. Don't get anything on you.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
That's Mission Impossible.
That was the first Mission Impossible movie. Emilio Estevez. Yeah.
I went with my buddy. You probably wouldn't know him, but one of my buddies in 7th grade. I think his mom took us to watch Mission Impossible. That was funny.
Sooner or later, Matt, I will pick up on all of your movie lines because I got 1,000 of them myself. It's just we haven't quite intersected on that.
We got time. We got time. Maddie T
gave
me
pretty random, man.
Maddie T gave. Well, I just asked you about rules of attraction, but Maddie T gave me planes, trains, and automobiles for my Thanksgiving homework so I can be in the cool club. Yeah.
I need him to be able to get the references when we make him for this.
Well, Maddie taught me something yesterday, and that's like the only Thanksgiving movie I'm aware of. But what was the other one? Dutch
with Ed O'Neill.
Yeah. So there's like 21 minutes of time from that famous hotel room scene.
Oh, in Planes, Trains,
where
and
the famous line is, "Those aren't pillows."
Oh my God, Phil! It ends up being about 30 to 40 minutes of stuff that they all cut out of that and just edited together and made it perfect. But it was great seeing all that stuff. You're gonna have to find a way to watch that too.
Of John Candy and Steve Martin, 30 minutes in a hotel room. You can only imagine the possibilities. Hey, speaking of possibilities, we've got Charlie who's been on hold with us for a little bit here. And Charlie, I'll just open the phone call by letting you know those are not pillows. How are you?
I'm great. I do want to say something to Eddie. I know we call in, we joke, we make, we do all this. I may call in every day and give all of you a hard time. I haven't really figured out anything to pick on Matt about yet, other than the fact that he's 6'6", and it's not fair that he takes a 5 yard every time he runs. It's 5 yards every time, one stride probably.
Just tell him. All you got to do, Charlie, is you tell Matt Jones is he's 6'6". If he took his beard and put it on his head, he'd be 6'8".
There you go.
Probably more like 7 feet.
I mean, yeah, Phil. I mean, I mess with you, and you've got really long hair, and Clay's getting younger every day, but he's awesome, and I can mess with Maddie too. And when Drew was on here, but I think you said something to Eddie that it hit home. You said Eddie is himself, and I do want to say I had no idea that had happened to him. What did he say 4 years ago? That tragic accident.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I Eddie, I know you're listening, buddy. I'm praying for you. The thing about this show, and and I'm biased, but I always say Arkansas sports media or whatever, these type of shows, the Morning Rush, this show, y'all are the best, and y'all allow us to be ourselves. I mean, not many people get to call into a show and be themselves. And I go back to, when my granddad passed away, and Phil, you and Drew and Maddie allowed me to talk about that, and that'll always stick with me. And so I think it matters. I mean, it does. It's a huge compliment to you guys on what you guys do. You guys are awesome. But Matt, I wanted to ask you, I'm going to really change courses here after that. I'm trying not to get emotional. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm a man. I don't do that. Anyway, Matt, I was going to ask you the other day when it's kind of a football one-on-one question here. Matt Landers ran that slant route down there in the red zone, and KJ, even though he decided to pull that ball down, it was an RPO, and throw that. When you're a quarterback, and even though you see that corner that has inside leverage right there, is that just based on 100% trust? even though that corner's playing inside leverage, Matt Landridge is going to run a route. He's going to release inside, and then he's going to, take that outside stem and, obviously the corner's going to bite, and then you get inside anyways. Is that just 100% confidence in your receiver? Because, a lot of coaches I know teach, throw away.
It's
go
probably
away
something. It's probably something they've seen on film, and so I got to experience it from both sides. But there was I was playing against the Texans, and it's kind of the same thing. And when he had outside coverage on me, I knew I could beat him outside because he was going to jump inside real quick. And the same kind of thing when he would be inside coverage on me down at the goal line. I know he's thinking I'm getting a fade. He's not even thinking I'm going to cross his face. And you're able to do that, so hopefully that's what they do. You see something on film, and
tendencies.
And it's kind of like the homie for the Patriots that jumped the slant for Russell Wilson. Same thing. They saw it on film on the other side as well. So hopefully that's and then you got to trust. Like if it was George Wilson out there, I'm just like I'm trusting George. I'm gonna throw it to him.
Yeah, no matter what. So I get what you're saying. So it's all about trust between you and that guy, and that he's gonna break. You got to throw it with anticipation too.
Everything happens fast down there. Yeah, you got to be really quick and decisive.
Well, and I do want to make one thing before I go, guys. Like I said, I appreciate everything you guys do. I do want to hit that home. You guys are awesome. I'll have to figure out something, Phil, as I said, more than just picking on him about his pulling his beard and putting it on top of his head.
It'll be okay.
I can't really pick on Matt, man. He's a legend. I mean, you guys are all legends too, but I was just such a huge fan growing up. So my mom would probably kill me if she heard me picking on Matt Jones on Halftime Live. I might not be able to come back home. So anyway, she might kill me. But anyway, I do want to say about this basketball team today, this is going to be a great test. And Matt, you went to practice. When you were there, I know Musk just let you come in there and hang out. You saw obviously some things, but did you think that we would be this good defensively this early? I mean, sometimes it takes a little time for that to happen, but did you think it would just be this quick, that we would just be this stifling? It's just almost unbelievable.
Well, I think, yeah.
Anyways, guys, I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thanks, Charlie.
And Clay, you might be able to tell and feel, too, that I don't know that we played against anybody that anybody in their starting five would be on our rotation. I think the first Dakota might have had a little guard that was okay, but we've just been the bigger, better, badder team. And when it's kind of like those, like I was saying, those Bob Huggins – Kenyon Martin teams, were they just going to get out and play defense and just get fast breaks and just out hustle you and out muscle you? I mean, they're fun to watch, but it'd be different when you come up against some men and maybe tonight when they play Creighton, they'll be well coached and somebody that can actually compete with you. I just don't think anybody that we played so far can compete with us.
I watched a practice. It was about maybe 6 weeks ago, and the attention to detail on the defense, and you could see how hard they were making it on each other.
Intensity, yeah.
Yeah, they made it hard on their own guards. And, there's a give and take there. And there were some times that some of the young guys, you could see how hard they were having against their own guys.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you better offensively. And what I really noticed was how hard he is on turnovers. If you turn the ball over, you're not going to play.
The ball's precious.
And I remember watching K.K. Robinson, who I think was a really talented player, but he'd come in and make 2 turnovers, and boom, he's out. You made a turnover, the whole team that you're on ran from one corner of whatever corner they were working on, you ran to the other corner, touched it, and ran back every time. Well, you quit making turnovers after a while, don't you, Matt? You get tired of that?
That's what coaches do. You run. I mean, you chalk them up at the end of practice. You run, and then you shoot your free throws with them, and you run. Yeah, you gotta turn. Ball's the most precious thing, and if you're giving away cheaply, man, you're not gonna win ball games.
Yeah, Nolan was hard on turnovers too. That was the one thing that really got in his craw.
And Clay, when you talk about the intensity, that's kind of what I noticed. It's very similar to a Nolan practice where it was going to be so intense that the game's almost a let up, but the game's almost a little bit easier because of how you were coached and how intense practice was. That's one of the similarities I definitely see in these teams in the way Coach Musk goes about it. Yeah,
I saw that
too. We got Cody on hold, guys. Let's take Cody's call before the break, and then we'll have a moment or so. you want to get on with us, 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Cody. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Clay, what are you fishing for this time of year? Walleye or what's
I'm on the river. I'm trout fishing because we've had a lot of low water. I have not been in the lake of late. Usually, I'm not much of a walleye guy. My son-in-law is, but he gets up like at 4, and then he's back at 8. That's kind of early for me. Yeah. The trout, you don't have to be out there at the break of dawn for them. So yeah, I've been wading in the river more than anything.
Hey, the biggest thing I don't know if I agree completely. I mean, I understand the physical aspect of it, what Matt was saying, but I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a D1 basketball player like Matt was or anything, but I mean, I think our basketball team looks dang good. Anthony Black reminds me of a skinnier, slimmer Ronnie Brewer. Maybe already a little bit more developed freshman year, but Ronnie was really developed freshman year. Maybe with unorthodox shot. Maybe not the best shooter freshman year, but he's definitely going to grow into it. You can see a natural stroke coming out of that. I think that Arkansas stacked. I think as long as Council plays well, I think as long as Black plays well, I think Brazil's hit and miss a little bit offensively, and then kind of is so awkward and clumsy sometimes he gets himself into situations that could be foul trouble. But overall, those twin brothers, if they play like that, defensively, if a team doesn't hit 60 points, we're going to win every one of our games as long as we score 60 points. With that being said, but I'm extremely happy when Nick Smith comes back. I think you see Devo Davis take a seat on the bench a little bit more. I still think that he's trying to force it to get his. I don't see the fluidity in the game when he's on the court as well. Now he's a lockdown defender, but I think when Nick Smith comes back, Devo's minutes go down significantly. But I appreciate y'all's time. Hope y'all are having a good day.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, I want to throw a little cold water on all this. I'm really interested to see the game tonight. And to see, and I'm not really concerned with what they've done with the teams they've played, their regular season games so far. I still have that Texas game in my mind, and I've seen what Texas has done. They could be the best team in the country, and they have just destroyed just about everybody, including Gonzaga. I think Creighton's pretty good. See the growth from the Texas game to this game, because Louisville is not very good, guys.
If the goal, and Muss has talked about this, it's not just to get to the tournament or where you were last year. If it's to get a step farther and you built the team to try to compete a little better with what you saw from Duke last year or what you saw from Baylor the year before. It's exactly right what you're saying here, Clay, because you're going to see a team like Texas. You're going to see a team like Creighton in the Elite Eight. So you want to get to where you want to be, you got to beat one of those teams.
The Texas guards were unbelievable. Carr and Hunter, I think that's their names, are terrific. I mean, they're veteran guards. They're going to see that again tonight.
It's like in soccer. You got to have a midfield. You got to have some guards. If you don't have
college
any guards,
basketball,
you can't win.
It's about the guards.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Nolan always had good guards, and so far I've seen that Muss has. And Black is kind of a freak. He's not your normal size.
He's letting the game come to him. He's very cerebral for how young he is.
He does not play. He doesn't like a true freshman.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not sure if it'll be him or Council. They're both pretty good defensively, but they're going to play some teams that have a quicker point guard, and I want to see how they handle that.
And I don't know that Devo really does lose his minutes. He's our best on-ball defender.
Oh no,
I don't think I think you got to find a spot for him.
Well, the only thing, turnovers and fouls is what will get him in trouble.
That's when he'll sit down. But other than that, it's nature of being the on-ball defender is going to be some fouls.
I think,
and he seems to have developed some leadership skills, and I saw it in practice, where he's not even practicing. He's working on the side because his knee's banged up a little bit, and all at once he hollers something from the bike, that he saw, and Musselman turned around and gave him a thumbs up like that. That's what I want from you, and I see that on the court. And he was really quick. I don't know who was it. Was it one of the Mitchells that stood over the guy in the game yesterday? And he got right in his face. Like, we don't do that. And And I think that's a reflection of what Kamani, he got the T. They don't want T's from players.
What they want is D, not T.
Yeah.
And when you are built first and foremost around athleticism and the ability to defend, if there are ifs, the thing, if they do this, if they do that, and if
Matt,
the if
did you ever
is
get a
scoring
technical?
and it's not defense, then that's a great place to start. We're going to take a break. We'll get Matt to answer that question in a moment. Plus, it's Alumni Halls. And plus, we're going to give away our 25 gift card to Alumni Hall for Name That Hog. That'll come up next on Halftime.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Deep three on the way, and it's good. Outlet to Devo. It is over. Down goes Auburn. The number one team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court at Bud Walton Arena. They are rushing the floor at Bud Walton Arena. Don't dance on that. Hey, don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Looking for a new ATV? Then you sure don't want to miss the 1+1 sale going on at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Buy a new 2022 CF Moto during their 1+1 ATV sales event and receive a free 2-year warranty that includes a 1-year factory and 1-year CF Moto Care extended protection. See Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland or view a complete list of inventories online at AutoFindersOK.com, where your search ends and adventure begins. Offer does not include Gen 2 C-Force 400 and 500 models.
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and BV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
From the very beginning, large landowners and homeowners have recognized the incredible value for the build quality Bad Boy mowers are known for. Everyone deserves a better finish cut, and at Alma Tractor in Alma, we invite you to compare a Bad Boy mower, pound for pound, price for price, and you'll find yourself mowing with an attitude. That's Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma, or check out almatractor.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sodies delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sodies now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodies.com or download the Sodies app and order from your phone. Sodies Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
We're talking ball. I was sleeping and right in the middle of a good dream. Like all at once I wake up from something that keeps knocking at my brain. Before I go insane, I hold my pillow to my head and spring up in my bed, screaming out the words I dread. I think I love you. I think I love you. This morning I woke up with this feeling, didn't know just how to deal with, and so I just decided to myself I'd hide it to myself and never talk about it, and did not go and shout it when you walked into the room. I think I love you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Clay Henry as well. Guys, be very quick here when we hear this Tenacious D version of I Think I Love You. What is Jack Black singing to? I'll start. He's singing to a cheeseburger. Matt, what do you think?
What is he singing to? Yeah, probably some type of like food.
Well, see, I think you guys are on the right track with cheeseburger, but I think it also has like a Filet-O-Fish and
I've
a
never seen
McChicken
it.
stacked on top of.
Oh, there we go. I could sing to that. Yeah.
Now he would love that.
Just as long as there's not a McRib there.
I'm a fan of food. Come on.
It's hilarious.
Let's go eat.
It's hilarious that things got it. This is like the McRib thing is like Cher going on her farewell tour.
That thing is not going anywhere.
It's never going anywhere. It's going to be dug up and given a whole new life again once it dies.
It's like Elon Musk did Twitter. He said he kind of thought he's going away, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to dig it back
I
up."
haven't had one of those things.
I have
in
a few
in
years
a
ago.
while. Yeah, because we live in a place like Arkansas, man. I was like, why would you eat?
I don't know
people
anybody
like to
who's
call
eaten
it
one of those.
Call it earlobe meat.
You know where I first remember them from was in the 90s. There was a movie version of the Flintstones with John Goodman, and they had a promotion where they had the McRib sandwich, and then you'd get like a collectible Flintstones
Dinosaur,
glass. And that's
yeah.
where I first remember McRibs from.
I'm just waiting for them to do a McTurkey sandwich later on this week.
A McTurkey.
A McTurkey leg.
That would be just awful. All right, it's time for Name That Hog, presented by Alumni Hall. This is your chance to win a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall in Fayetteville, right next to Whole Foods. It's where you get to show your hog pride. Alumni Hall's your ultimate shopping experience with the best and largest selection of apparel for the whole family. They have Nike, Nike Golf, Champion, Columbia, gifts, accessories, and all your tailgating needs. Plus, Arkansas students, faculty, and military receive 10% off in-store. And with the Hall Pass rewards, Alumni Hall, you can earn cash back. That's Alumni Hall, located at North College Avenue, or anytime at alumnihall.com. So you got to get in your texts. We do this via text at 877-377-6963. This one courtesy of the one and only Clay Henry. Name that hog. And we always like to start with the birthplace, or at least where this Razorback grew up. He is from Hamburg, Arkansas. So it's our first little hint here.
Man, there's not many Razorbacks from Hamburg.
How big is Hamburg? Do we know?
Oh, it's probably shrinking every day.
From Hamburg,
I bet it's
Arkansas.
like 1,500.
Nobody has texted in just yet. I mean,
Nobody's got it yet.
We're going to almost the extreme southeast corner of our wonderful state in Hamburg, not far from Crossett. And
I think, is that Ashley County?
I believe it is. There is a town called Bovine, Arkansas, not far away from Hamburg. I wonder what happens in Bovine.
Hamburg and Bovine. We got a trend there.
Yeah, it's a good. Hey, we went from talking about McDonald's to a town called Hamburg. How did this work out?
I don't know. Are we about out of my questions? I need to write some more.
I need one more after this because we still have another one for next week.
Okay.
Nobody has given us the right answer yet. This Razorback is from Hamburg, Arkansas, and we do have a number of.
He's a Hall of Honor guy too. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's somebody you've heard of. It is not Jonathan Monica. It is not Ernie Murray. It is not Ken Hamlin.
Jonathan Monica was from Smackover, I think.
Come on, let's get our small Arkansas towns right here.
Dude, Jonathan Modica, talk about an undersized forward that could just get it done. Man, he was fun. He was a good little hooper, man. He could play.
Was he on the team you
I played
for,
so I played with Nolan, then I sit out a year, then I played when Brewer was a true freshman, and Jonathan was maybe a sophomore. Pookie, yeah, but dude, just talk about
he's now a doctor, Dr. Pookie.
He could have been. Oh, he's super smart, had a great smile, but he could have played football if he wanted. He was just a natural athlete.
He was a quarterback.
Yeah, he was just athletic.
Can you be a doctor and go by Pookie? Is that in the?
I wrote
that
feature. Where are they now? And the headline was Dr. Pookie.
It's Pookie MD.
I've got to
Pookie
wait. I thought
MD.
that was a TV show.
It's actually Pookie PhD.
I got a friend of mine back home in Pittsburgh I grew up with. His name's Michael. Nobody ever called him Michael. He's Mo, like Mo from the Three Stooges. But he's also an attorney. I do not think they refer to him as Mo in the courtroom.
Yeah.
It's probably just a guess.
Pookie is like a HR guy at a Fortune 500 company in the Silicon Valley.
Brian in Fayetteville says Scottie Pippen. Well, he's from Hamburg, but he's not a Razorback.
Not a Razorback.
This is not Guess That UCA Bear. My son, this is another hint for you. My son returned punts for the Razorbacks. So here's your two cues so far. You think this is the one that gives it away, Clay?
Might be. I mean, he returned punts. He doesn't return them now.
I was there whenever I want to say I was a true freshman when that punt returner.
Yeah. He messed up his ankle and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he and Sasha Lancaster got hurt. I think he got hurt too bad his ankle. But so we're going through pregame warm-ups, like just regular, like, hey, this is what it's going to be like on Saturday. We're going to go like we're covering a kick.
Dress rehearsal, and that freaker twist his ankle so bad, and you know how those things are. It was just the whole year. It was just like he's just man.
We have an altruistic texter here who sent in the right answer, but says he forget about the prize. He just wants to keep it going. But yes, this person is correct. Heisenberg sent us in this text, and he's correct about the answer here. So if I give the name of the punt returner, this guy, this
the first name.
If I were to give his name, is that going to give it away?
I don't know.
All right, let me give another hint though.
Not too many people probably remember him.
I started my coaching career under Bear Bryant at Alabama. Our 3 hints so far. This is, by the way, the toughest question so far. I am from Hamburg. My son returned punts for the Hogs, and I started my coaching career under Bear Bryant at Alabama. And the next person who sends in a Scottie Pippen text, I don't think Scottie Pippen coached Bear Bryant either.
He's a defensive guy too at heart. Like when he's a defensive mind.
Yeah, I had breakfast with this guy this morning. Believe it or not.
See, and I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. See how these things work out sometimes?
Yep, no, he was over here fishing. And
he was always super cool with me, man. I'm a big fan of his.
It's not Marcus Williams. It's not Kenny Hatfield. It's not Eddie Jackson. It's not Harry Kane. It's definitely not Malik Hornsby, texter out of the 479. Nor is it Harold
Started his career coaching at Bear Bryant.
The next hint. The next hint is I coached in the NFL for the Tampa Bay Bucks under John McKay. So what would that have been, like early 80s?
This is not going well, is it, Phil? This is what I was always hoping for.
Here we go. We got it right. We got a correct answer. It's from one of our it's from one of the 2 texters that's in a contest to see who can text the most. The other would be BE in Clarksville, who I think got 3 or 4 incorrect answers while we've been doing this. JT in Hot Springs has gotten it right. How about this? Yeah, JT. The correct answer is Lewis Campbell.
He's got to be right at the top of the list of my friends. Yep.
Just a good dude. Just all around. Every time you're around him, it's just he's funny, good guy. And that's what I do remember about him the most. Clay, I wasn't around him that much, but he's defensive. When you talk with him, he's defensive minded.
Yeah, he coached at Arkansas with Jack Crow, Joe Kynes, Danny Ford, Houston Nutt. Was the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma State. I just did a podcast with him, a hog pod. It'll be out in a week or so. We talked for an hour and a half. It is really good.
So JT,
great stories.
Not only does JT in Hot Springs win a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall, which you can pick up at Alumni Hall yourself, or we'll find a way to get it to you, JT, since you live in Hot Springs. You also get bonus points for your text off with BE in Clarksville. We're going to give you 25 bonus texts to match your dollars.
You think he'd voice text? They come in that rapidly?
BE, there's no doubt, yeah. I don't think BE does much other than listen to the shows on ESPN Arkansas and text. But that's great because he gives us great content most of the time. JT's a little more choosy with his stuff. He just likes to argue, which I'm great with because he and I have been going back and forth now for 4 years, and he's fantastic. And he's the big winner. The big winner is JT in Hot Springs. Lewis Campbell, today's Name That Hog, presented by Alumni Hall. Phone lines are open in the next segment, 877-377-6963. Halftime coming right back.
This is a story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue. Two young lovers with nothing better to do than sit around the house, get high and watch a tube. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose. They headed down to old El Paso. I swear they ran into a great big hassle. Billy Joe shot a man while robbing his cat.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics. Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Life be.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
This is Northside head football coach, Coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach, Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football in fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940. United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, zero out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise, with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros yesterday. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
Checking in with Dalton at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Dalton, we've already talked about the new Bronco Sports. We've talked about, Randall Ford being the 4th oldest Ford dealership and having new vehicles that other Ford dealerships around this region. It doesn't have that luxury. That's one of the things that Ford does for Randall and for us, because they want to make sure that this dealership keeps new ones on the ground for people to come test drive and buy.
Yeah, we're the fourth oldest Ford dealership. We've been around since 1908. So, I feel like we have a little bit of leadway with Ford, and they've been bringing us some stuff to sell, and it's here. I mean, it's hard to come by, so if you see anything you like, you need to jump on it quick, because chances are next week it won't be here.
You guys have Ford Mavericks for sale?
We have a few Mavericks in right now. You need to come check them out, because this is the first time in months we've even had one that you could look at.
Yep, that's something other dealerships just do not have that luxury in, so all they have to do is ask for Dalton.
Yeah, ask for Dalton.
There you go. Come by and see us. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, the midnight headlight find you on a rainy night, steep grade up ahead, slow me down, making no time. But I gotta keep rolling. Those are windshield wipers slapping out a tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on this Thursday edition of Halftime. That's what it is, right, guys? Matt Jones texted us last night.
Matty T told me, yeah.
Yesterday was a Wednesday.
Well,
This is a short week.
He was all bummed. He's like, man, Mondays, man.
Man,
I'm like,
Mondays.
Dude, it's
Do you
pretend
ever
it's
show up
Wednesday.
to work and say, it sounds like you got a case of the Mondays?
Man, you get your ass kicked. You say something like that.
You
Man,
can
I
say
got to drive
you got a
up
case.
to...
You can say you got a case of the Wednesdays, and we'll just celebrate with a drink or something.
I'm doing
right?
that dude drywall up there on the new McDonald's in Las Editas. Yeah, man. Got to wake up at 5 a.m. every day this morning.
I think I got a nickname for Matt Jones. Movie line. You throw him in there. You're ready for him at a moment's notice. Yeah, I do too. I mean, isn't that the way men of our age communicate? It's
Absolutely.
through movie line.
And through Seinfeld in The Office, yeah.
Yep. That's how we do. And Clay's back there like, I don't know what he just said, but he likes to communicate through usual words. And maybe song lyrics. And
I don't think we ever got a nickname for Matt.
Well, movie line might work. I don't know. I mean, we had to do a whole poll to figure out Matt Jenkins' nickname once he joined the show, because Matt wasn't going to work out in that case. In this case, we could do it again. I mean, SmackDown's taken. Meat Hooks got shot down. I don't remember some of the other ones that were tested on. Jenkins.
Haystack.
So we can figure it out at some point. Matt, were there any nicknames that your teammates had for you that you're allowed to say on the air without getting in trouble?
Oh, I don't know that I really ever had a nickname.
I don't think he did.
One of my buddies, we were like Don Slims from Pulp Fiction. You know how they go to Jackrabbit Slims?
That's why you're Don Slims on Twitter.
That's Slims. It comes from Pulp Fiction, yeah. So it's a movie. And then Don would be like from The Godfathers, Don Corleone, whatever.
You realize that $5 shake from
they don't put any bourbon or anything in that?
Yeah, that thing would be $25 now.
Jackrabbit Slims, it's like a wax museum with a pulse.
Don't tell me what you think of that shake either, because that'll get us in trouble. All right, well, speaking of trouble, Russ in Bentonville's on hold. Russ, I don't know why I said speaking of trouble, but it was just some sort of a bad segue. How are you? You're on halftime.
He hung up.
Oh, he waited on hold during that commercial break and then hung up.
What a letdown.
He must have just had the butterflies. You know what that feels like. The butterflies before the show starts. I get them before the show starts.
Nerves.
The music is playing. Nerves. That's right. Yeah.
Stage fright.
You must feel that way every time you sit in front of a computer and start hammering out a story, right, Matt? Right?
That's called writer's block.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Hey, I got a question for you here, Matt, because I've suffered through this in a few instances as a play-by-play broadcaster. Like, I have recurring nightmares. One of them has nothing to do with sports. For some reason, I drive off of a bridge on these recurring nightmares or off of a mountain. I guess that's the way I'm going to go. The other recurring nightmare is that I'm sitting at a baseball park with a scorebook in front of me in a baseball game I'm supposed to call, and I forgot everything I know about baseball. I don't even know the players' names. I don't know the team names. I don't even know what the count is. I wouldn't even know what the count is. I wouldn't even know what a count is. Did you ever have Did you ever have nightmares like that as a football player, that all of a sudden, like, you're playing naked, or just you forgot what you were doing?
I've definitely had that falling dream before, but no, before the first game, you'd kind of be like, all right, well, I hope I prepared enough. I hope I'm ready to go. And then after that first game, once it got going, there was never you never really got nervous. But that every year though, before that first game, you're like, man, I hope I'm as good as I was last year. I hope I'm better. I hope I'm prepared. I hope we're going to have a good year. You're kind of feeling, so that first game, you can't sleep. That's the one that's kind of the one, but never really nightmares like that, other than, you're trying to climb up the cliff and then all of a sudden you're just falling all the time. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, it's the performance anxiety. I think we've all probably dealt with that in one form or another throughout our lives, maybe. But, it's just, something that you knew so well that all of a sudden just went away. The first time it happened to me was, I must have been 16 or 17, and so that would have been like 94 or 95. And in the dream, I'm sitting there in a booth, and all of a sudden, Frank Thomas walks up to bat.
Nice.
Frank Thomas was the MVP. I think he was the MVP of the American League the year before, so it's not like nobody knew who he was.
This is before he was selling enhancement pills.
Yeah, he's the big hurt.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting there in the booth, and Frank Thomas walks to the plate, and I'm saying, who's Frank Thomas? I don't know who this is. I woke up in a pool of sweat in a bed. I've never done a game before in my life, and already I was having performance anxiety about it. Anyway, I thought I might ask you about that at some point before, but
I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've had a Frank Thomas dream though too, so that might be weird that we both had Frank Thomas dreams.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. We do have some similarities that I really wasn't aware of. And Russ, if you want to call back, I was only saying trouble as a little bit of a joke because, I joke around most of the time. 877-377-6963. Hey, great place to watch any of the football games this week. Twin Peaks and Rogers, your sports headquarters. 29-degree draft beer is flowing right now. Made from scratch, fan favorites being made inside the kitchen. And guess what's going on tomorrow? Wild Turkey 101. Crafted it for more than 60 years to be done right. This bourbon has high rye content, perfectly aged in American white oak barrels, have the deepest char, and the end result is a well-rounded bourbon full of character. 101 is the proof. It does not play around. They've got those shots right now at Twin Peaks for $3.99. It is available today and available on Thursday. Black Friday shot specials at Twin Peaks in Rogers. More TVs, bigger screens, scenic views, and great Wild Turkey 101 whiskey. More to watch at Twin Peaks in Rogers. Halftime back after a very quick break.
700 little records, all rock, rhythm, and jazz. But when the sun went down, the rapid tempo of the music fell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They bought a souped-up jitney, was a cherry red 53.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street, across from Play It Again Sports, or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue, behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. Go Paschal.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, a deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
There's nothing more comfortable or convenient than a pair of Hey Dudes on your feet. And Jelco Outdoors has just received a huge shipment of Hey Dude footwear. Jelco has Hey Dudes for men, Hey Dudes for the ladies, and Hey Dudes for the kids. New styles for fall. When it comes to Hey Dudes, no one has a bigger or better selection than Jelco Outdoors. Get your Hey Dudes today for the entire family at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster type player plays his cards right. A real gangster type player never runs his mouth, cause real gangsterized players don't start fights.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We got some nominations for Matt Jones nicknames coming in here. Brandon wants to steal John Jones's nickname, call you Bones Jones.
Don't you just lock your doors every time you hear this song come on? Don't you just...
Yeah, right. I just want to make sure my printer's working.
PC load letter? What does that mean?
Heisenberg wants to call you Showtime. Dana wants to call you Total Package. B.E. says Lightning. There's a lot going on there.
I'm a little... I don't know. I might be too old for nicknames.
You're never...
Yeah, I mean, you are. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Slims. That's Don Slims. That's the Twitter. There you go.
Slims will be the one. Slims will be the one.
So,
I think it's an executive decision.
So I had a little bit of a worry yesterday. So you remember in Office Space, right? Michael Bolton, the guy's born,
I celebrate his whole catalog. Why should I change my name?
I mean, obviously the guy's born with that name, and it was until that, no talent ass clown, started making hit records. But last night there was a commercial on with Star-Lord, what's his name, Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
a commercial
Chris
for a clothing line called Travis Matthew.
Okay, it's a golf. It's a West Coast golf thing.
It's like, am I going to get to a point where now it's like everybody thinks that I'm named after the clothing company? And
they make cool shirts, man. You have to check them out, man. They're definitely golf European looking stuff.
They don't make corny clothes like Michael Bolton makes corny music.
Well, you can just call me Mike.
You need to get an NIL deal out of this.
I wouldn't say I've been missing work, Bob.
Got Robert in Fort Smith who's giving us a call here. Hi, Robert. How you doing?
Hey, Phil. I'd like to talk today a little bit.
Well, we'd like you to talk. We'd like you to talk too. I don't know if the cell phone signal wants you to very much. Sounds like he was in the car.
Cell phone gods
around.
have different ideas.
I think I heard his voice there for a moment. Rob, we got you back. You back?
Yes, sir. Hello?
All right. We missed you for a moment there. Go for it.
Okay. Yesterday I saw a deal that Bobby Swafford's connected to, NIL deals for high school kids. That's crazy. High school kids don't need NIL deals because, I'm sorry, but you're not the multi-billion-dollar like college football. I get that. But not everybody lives off of high school football, you know. We're 1A, 2A, 3A schools? No. I get 4 through 6, 7, but, you know.
Well, even in the small towns, amongst those those smaller schools, those kids' names still carry some weight, even in a town of 1,000, 1,500 or whatever. And there's no reason to feel like a kid has to have any earning power restricted just because he's a high schooler or something. I can't imagine there's really high dollar figures getting thrown around in this case. But in a lot of these cases, the guys who play football in high school and whatever, that supersedes the ability to get a job. So, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. I was just seeing where you are because I just think it's crazy because I get college football, but high school, we go because of the team, not because of the person.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. But it's got to be just the scale of high school NIL. In a state that as small as Arkansas and some of these towns too, it's just got to be so much smaller. So, but I mean, some of these kids that are big time recruits that get known across the country. I mean, just think about like what a Nick Smith might be able to make on NIL. As a
Bentonville
high school,
like right? Wouldn't they? I mean, Walmart money, Tyson money in Springdale. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it seems like Monk had some deals, that Marcus was doing.
As he should have, man. Malik Monk was a freaking stud.
Yeah,
dude.
they were playing tournaments.
He's still playing, yeah.
Yeah. You figure Corliss probably would have made something at Russellville
the
back
big
in
nasty.
the day. He was the number one player in the country.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah,
he still is. I got to shake his hand a few months ago for the first time. Talk about meeting one of your heroes or your idols growing up, watching them play, and man, just as good as they could be.
All right, we're 2 hours through on halftime. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us in hour number 3, and that is right after this.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest
They
way
might
to
go by
wager
different
on all
names,
your
but
favorite
all
sports,
prefer the same
contests,
thing.
and events
Bobby
with
Garland,
first-to-market
America's
odds
favorite
and lines.
Whiteford,
Find
slab,
reviews
soccer
and
leg,
news for
paper
every
mouth,
league,
crappie,
including
speck,
Major
crappie
League
bait.
Baseball,
I
NFL,
call it
NBA,
dinner.
NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lamley has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard.
On ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! Turn that back, your
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Another hour here on your favorite midday radio program across Arkansas, halftime. Neil Adkison will join us in the next segment from Bet Saracen. Get his thoughts on Football Thursday, Egg Bowl, Iron Bowl, Battle Line rivalry, Ohio State, Michigan, and any other games you might have interest in. You can text those to us at 877-377-6963. See earlier today, guys, that the semifinalists were announced for the Doak Walker Award, celebrating the top running back in college football. And Rocket Sanders ain't on the list. They got Pitts, Izzy that's right, Pitts, Izzy Abanikanda, Chase Brown from Illinois. I think Brown leads the nation in rushing. Zach Charbonnet from UCLA, Blake Corum from Michigan, Mohamed Ibrahim from Minnesota, Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss, so you can't say it's all about being an upperclassman, Dwayne McBride from UAB, Kendry Miller from TCU, Bijan Robinson from Texas, Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State. There is no Raheem Sanders on that list, and it doesn't feel right.
What does he not do good enough, Phil? Like when I think about what I want my running back, what is his knock on him that you're like, well, he's not good enough? I mean, he's a 5. Is it breakaway speed maybe? But that dude from Michigan doesn't have breakaway speed.
Looked like he had breakaway speed on Saturdays.
That's what I'm trying to find. Just like, what is it, man? He does everything good.
I don't get it. I
don't
know.
The only thing I can say is that, maybe he had that this was picked last week and he had a couple of down games or whatever.
Fair enough.
Before this one. But I agree with you. It's shameful.
I mean, if I've been watching, what football you've been watching to not have him in the top? Was there 8 or 10 running backs and he's not on the short list? It's just wild.
Truthfully, though, for any award, why are we doing semifinalists and stuff when the season's not over yet? I don't get it. Like, I understand these watch lists get pared down as the season goes along. If they did their voting, before the last 2 games of the season were complete, I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Phil, you've kind of answered your own question though, because the reason why they do it is so we'll talk about it.
So if we don't talk about it, maybe they won't do it.
But don't we want it right? I mean, that's
I get it, yeah. but they're going to get it down to 1 or 2 or 3. I just voted for the Biletnikoff, and in the last week we went from 10 to 3. And like you say, the most important games are yet to play, and we've just eliminated some dudes that are going to be in the most important games.
JT thinks the reason Rockets not on the list is because Arkansas is 6-5.
Well, what about Illinois? Illinois,
there's some other teams on there that are just having okay years.
And that dude's a stud. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from those two number twos, that Illinois, Michigan, just watching both those running backs run. They were fun to watch. But Raheem Sanders, man, he's just as much important as this offense as anybody is.
He's 8th in the nation in all-purpose yards. This isn't even just the rushing yards. Come on now. 8th in the nation.
And against the schedule.
Yards.
Against who we've been playing. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, even look, Devin Achane has an argument in this. I mean, Achane is 6th in the nation in all-purpose.
He could have had 300 against Ole Miss if he'd have played. If he'd had three more carries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it just would have been just about giving him more carries. I think you would have had to have run your offense because it helps him a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying that how good he was running.
No, you're right, but that was the thing that. He was running into a stacked deck in the fourth quarter. You couldn't make any yards. Well, he had some carries.
I would have got him out too. The game was over, 42-6. It was over.
Phil, we can talk about that. There's a lot of people that are like, and Sam mentioned it. We took our foot off the pedal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did, and I think you'd do it again because you don't want KJ to be hit, and somebody says, well, then put somebody else in. Well, the reason why KJ was in is they didn't want a turnover. They wanted the handoffs, everything. You won the game because you didn't have a turnover.
Yeah, 3-0.
He was so efficient. KJ's most efficient game he's probably had here.
Like if there's a way to choke away a 42-6 lead, Clay, that's what I'm hearing you say. If there's a way you're going to choke away a lead like that, if you're going to be handing the ball off, it's by fumbling the ball.
You can do the math, and you would have to have 2 turnovers, a block punt, or they would have had to recover 3 onside kicks.
We were in an 8-minute offense.
That's all. Yeah, because you're gonna run off 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss knew what they started using their timeouts early in the fourth quarter, right?
It's a joke. The 4-minute offense. If they only got one timeout, all you got to do is get one first down, and that's just kind of what we were in with 8 minutes. With the whole fourth quarter to go, is just run the clock.
Well spoken. I think that's exactly right. And I don't have a problem with that, but there's some people like, hey, well,
the goal is to win the game,
60
right?
on them.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. I've never been that way. I mean, I get it to each their own, but
it's Ole Miss.
There's nothing sweeter. There's nothing sweeter than getting in that victory formation, and especially on the road. But at home on Senior Day, being able to get in the victory formation, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't like the idea that Ole Miss scored some points, and they were just like, well, we were that close. 2 penalties took back touchdowns. Well, Arkansas lost a touchdown to a penalty too, and they went ahead and scored.
That Arkansas defense made some plays and held them to field goals when they could have had some momentum going. I mean, that's what it was. Is we got some stops when we needed to get it. They didn't want to. We hit them in the mouth, and they didn't like it.
Even though they gave up 700 yards, I saw defense. And it's just the way the game was played. Arkansas was scoring fast. But Quincy McAdoo, he made some plays. I like that is still so big time.
And number 27 as well.
Yeah, that's Pooh.
I want to ask you now. These are guys that are the future of your defense.
No question.
In many ways. For McAdoo, Tom Murphy brought this up yesterday with Sam Pittman, and he mentioned a play that McAdoo made where he blew up the blocker and make the tackle all in the same moment. Sam Pittman did not throw cold water on the idea of Quincy McAdoo playing both ways next year. I guess it would kind of be up to him, but man, wouldn't that be something?
Well,
do you think that somebody could pull that off?
He has displayed the ability to learn really quickly. So that would lead me. Now, he's already had the offense. He's practiced all that. So it's not like he's going to go back to offense fresh. But yeah, I think I would do that. And then you've got a special player. His transition, you have to give Dominic Bowman some credit. I haven't heard that enough. That to take him and get him up to speed and keep coaching him and Quincy's learning the tendencies of the offense, and he looks like he can mirror those guys pretty good.
He's very natural. I'd see Phil if he does play both sides that you have a package in for him, or you have him some slot routes, you have him something. But I think his money. I mean, he does whatever he wants to help the team win. But I think his calling is on that defensive side of the ball.
It sounded like Pittman thought that if he had a role offensively, it might be as a third down receiver.
There you go.
Maybe like something like that, because it seems you watch him on defense, you watch him at cornerback. I mean, you don't want that kid off the field ever.
You don't want him getting hurt on the offensive side. Not that he can get hurt doing anything, but 100%.
Matt, what's the value of a cornerback in the NFL right now? I don't even know.
The thing it is, Clay, and I don't know monetarily what it is, but what it does is your whole defense, you're able to eliminate a third of the field or a half of the, however you're able to do it, and it just, everybody else plays freer, and your defense just looks so much better. Every good defense has that guy. Now, and you have different style of corners, cover two corners, run-stopping corners, people that can play two-man really well, and then people that can do it all. And he seems to be like one of those guys that is going to be able to do it all. I don't know, Clay, that those are the best athletes in the world, and there was only about 3 or 4 of them that I thought were any good when I played. Rasheem Mathis was amazing. Charles Woodson was awesome. I mean, it's tough. It is the toughest position, I think, to play in sports.
Did you play against Revis?
Darrelle Revis. We played against the Jets, and we threw a screen pass to Reggie Wilson, like a tunnel screen, and we were trying to throw it to him, and he picked it off and went down. We ended up
was a stud.
We ended up beating them in overtime that year. Yeah, he was a stud.
Look at how all the money that was thrown at wide receivers in the NFL in free agency.
You make more money playing receiver. Yeah.
Well, if you're throwing money at wide receivers, wouldn't it make sense that you're also making sure that you have defenders that can cover said receiver that's making $20 million a year? So I mean, It would seem to me that defensively
they go hand in hand.
Yeah, you got to have a pass rusher. You're going to spend money on
a left tackle,
on someone who can rush the passer. Yeah, left tackle, quarterback, wide receiver. I think cornerback belongs on that list too.
They're tough to find, Phil. That's what I'm saying. If you can be one of those, there's a lot of okay ones, a lot of good ones, but every team doesn't have 2 of them. Just like there's not 32 NFL quarterbacks, there's not 32 NFL cover corners.
You said the natural, and that's correct. But he just has an awareness that you can't coach that. He just knows what's going to happen in the feel for the game. I watched him a lot Saturday night.
Kind of like Anthony Black when you're watching him play basketball.
No question.
Yeah, right? Like you're like, man, you're just good at – you just kind of know what's going on. Yeah.
Baller.
And
I think the term is baller, right?
Really forced himself into the offensive game, but it came to him yesterday, and, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, just really efficient. Still want to see him play against really quick guards.
Let's have a quick break here. I see on my Bet Saracen app for tonight's basketball game, 7 o'clock, 6:30 airtime here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. The Hogs are a 1.5-point favorite over Creighton in the Maui Invitational, and that is on your Bet Saracen app or also at BetSaracen.com. And we're going to talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen about a lot of football money to get thrown around this week, because that's what Thanksgiving's about. Yeah, and togetherness and food and giving thanks for all of that stuff, especially when they cover. And halftime is back after this.
Good times, bad times, you know I've had my share. When my woman left home, I'm down my man, but I still don't seem to care.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
We'd like our program to reflect our state, the great state of Arkansas.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest
They
way
might
to
go by
wager
different
on all
names,
your
but
favorite
all
sports,
prefer the same
contests,
thing.
and events
Bobby
with
Garland,
first-to-market
America's
odds
favorite
and lines.
Whitefoot,
Find
slab,
reviews and
succulent,
news for
paper
every
mouth,
league,
crappie,
including
speck,
Major League
crappie bait.
Baseball,
I
NFL,
call it
NBA,
dinner.
NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lamley has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard. Unlike those other companies, items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide.
You better count your money. 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 You better count your money.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We're going to have Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen on here. We usually have him on Fridays, at least for the last couple of weeks we have, but we're not doing a show Friday because of a little football game known as the Battle Line rivalry with Arkansas and Mizzou. So we've got Neil on with us right now. Neil, did you make it to your destination? I know you're on the road today. How you doing?
I'm about halfway there, heading down over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. A lot of us are traveling this time of year. But you know what? We've got sports and football and soccer and basketball and everything to keep up with. So if the family drives us nuts, we can retreat and 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 do something more interesting than family. So,
Neil, as an odds maker, do your family members ever ask you to make odds on who's going to finish their plate first at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I get propositions every year by my nieces and nephews about putting odds, more so on grades and things of that nature. And sometimes they entertain them, but they kind of want me to put the odds in their favor.
It's good to have family when it comes right down to it, right? All right, so let's see. Let's start with the Thursday game with a couple of football games on Thursday night. Start with the Egg Bowl with Mississippi State and Ole Miss. What does Bet Saracen have that at, and what are you thinking about this one?
Well, we got Ole Miss at -2.5. You got the rumors of Kiffin to Auburn. That was fun on Twitter last night. We're going to see how that one plays out. Ole Miss is trying to keep the Egg Bowl trophy for 3 years in a row. This year it is at Ole Miss. Coming from before I was in Arkansas, I was in Mississippi for 20 years there with the casinos there. And so that is a big game in the state. Who knows what's going to go on with that one, because that's that true in-state rivalry game. They got the over and under at 59.5, so should be an action-packed game. If you don't want to watch NFL that night, you've got the Egg Bowl, which is a pretty storied game here in the South.
Hey, how much do the supposed distractions, like what could happen here with Lane Kiffin? I mean, yesterday was kind of crazy. I had this reporter for a TV station in Mississippi that says that Auburn's hired Lane Kiffin. It'll be announced Friday, and Lane Kiffin basically, threw some pretty cold water on that, but turning it around on the reporter himself and saying that reporter is going to be leaving his station. I just found that really funny. Yeah. But as an odds maker, do these things come into your mind when you're deciding where you're going to set the lines?
Absolutely. We look at these line movements and the news stories, and we've got our U.S. traders, and especially here at Bet Saracen, we've got Stuart and Jake and the team. For the teams that we have the most liability on, we are looking at the news wires. We subscribe to services. We get alerts just like sometimes just minutes before ESPN, and we have to be big and quick to react if money starts making the lines move. And that makes it fun. It's kind of like being a stock trader on the stock floor at times. More so about 2 hours before the game, but this time of year with the coaching carousel and the rumors that are surrounding around that, it makes our jobs a lot more interesting, and it makes it fun for us both.
Yeah, you had that Dallas-Minnesota game work out for you last week, and then what are your thoughts on that Dallas-New York Giants game, another game we got coming up this Thursday?
Thanksgiving Day games, anything can happen, but it looks like 9.5 points. Dallas is favored in that game. Dallas is Dallas. They made a pretty big statement last weekend. So, people in Arkansas, they're going to bet on Dallas. It doesn't matter what the point spreads are, and Dallas is going to play.
Even if it's does a short week matter as much? Because they play Sunday, and then now it's a quick turnaround?
Yeah, we get a lot of that, throughout the year. There is a lot of quick turnarounds, with the Thursday night game every week. You always have to deal with that. But this week it's a little bit different because you got 3 teams that basically have to do that turnaround. So, yeah, it does make a little bit more so with probably the over and under and maybe some of the props, but not so much on the game lines.
One that caught my interest, I guess it's the first game of the day on Thursday, is Buffalo at Detroit. Detroit's played a lot better of late than I guess I expected them to play. Buffalo is an 9.5 point favorite. I think that moved since when I saw it earlier today. I might think about Detroit plus 9.5 at home.
Yep, and Buffalo had to scramble last week. That may have something to do with it. But anytime you've got Josh Allen behind that ball, and you're a Thanksgiving game and you're on that stage, that was going to be interesting. So, you basically got the Buffalo Bills playing in Ford Field 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you're right about that. I didn't even think about that. They probably never even had to leave town and deal with the 6 or 7 or 10 or 12 feet of snow that they got in Western New York.
Oh, well, those pitches were ridiculous. There is no way that, at first I go, hey, go ahead and play the game. when I saw those pictures, a lot of people smarter than I am moved that game.
When do you just kind of start throwing the lines out as far as the spreads? What's up with the Packers? How do you do a spread on a team this year when they're supposed to be 7-4 or even better than that, and they're 4-7 this year? Is it get tough to make the spread on games like that?
It does, but you know what? The math works out. The math works out most of the time. But that's where if you are a sports bettor, you got to keep up on that, because a lot of times you can react and get onto a line when a story breaks or you hear a rumor or you hear a news report. You can get on the line sometimes faster before we can move it, and that's just part of the cat and mouse game on where the lines are set. But, really, I always like to stress people, we really only set the opening line. After that, the general public is the one that generally moves that line. Unless there's a breaking news story on an injury or a player that's going to be out or a player that's going to return that wasn't expected.
Is the quarterback the most heavily weighted guy? Because you say Josh Allen, and I still think, well, I get Aaron Rodgers. Why wouldn't I want Aaron Rodgers in 8.5 points? And you say Josh Allen. Is that what makes the line move the most?
Absolutely, the quarterback has the majority to do with that, because they are the field general. And look, when Brady was with the Patriots, people were not betting the Patriots. They were betting on Brady to cover that spread each week. And there for many, many years, people did very well on that one.
All right, so let me throw a hypothetical at you here. KJ Jefferson is going to play on Friday against Mizzou. Okay, we just know that as an understood fact. But if there all of a sudden were to be something that happened and he doesn't play, and we hear that from Sam Pittman tomorrow during his Wednesday presser. Right now, I got Arkansas in the Bet Saracen app favored -2.5. If we find out tomorrow, now again, this is totally hypothetical. This is not what's going to happen because KJ is going to play. But if there was something to happen, like what would that do to the line on a Wednesday when the game's on a Friday?
With KJ Jefferson, a story like that would probably be an automatic 3 to a 4-point move. We would let it sit out there, see what happened, and then we would move adjustingly to see how the public react to what the initial line movement would be. Yeah, that's not an exact science, but that's a general. And you would look at that. Now if it's a backup quarterback and a different backup quarterback was going to play, maybe not so much. But with someone with KJ Jefferson, and we've seen the other quarterback this year, that would be an instant move.
We talk a little bit about basketball, about going to Maui and Arkansas playing Creighton. And when I look at see who Arkansas's played, I don't see like they played against anybody that really scares us. But Creighton looks like a real team. Should be a tough test for the Hogs tonight.
Yeah, it really will be. And if you look, Arkansas bettors have a lot of faith in the Hogs, because nationally the Hogs look like on a lot of the lines are maybe +1.5, but on Bet Saracen, the bettors are betting the heck out of it, and the Hogs are -1.5 instead of +1.5. So, that's a great matchup for this particular team, and that's kind of like an Elite Eight matchup in my mind, just looking at it on paper.
Yeah, I think the excitement about this game is because that's exactly the way people feel. You're going to face a team like Creighton. Once you get into the Elite Eight. You got to ask about USA and England Friday. I don't know if I'll be able to put my eyes on it because of the Battle Line rivalry, but that was a great match yesterday with Wales. What do you think, Matt?
Well, I was going to say 1 o'clock. I'll be able to watch it because it'll bleed right into the Arkansas-Missouri game. I forget, though, Phil, that you'll be up there in Columbia.
Neil, what do you think of this one?
Well, England versus USA, and let me do my little speech on soccer real quick. Remember, the home team is listed first on the board, and the tie is a thing in soccer. So if you bet on USA and you didn't bet the tie when they played yesterday, you didn't win your bet. You had to bet the tie to win that particular bet. Now this one looks like a tough one. England already has 2 points. USA already has 1 point for our draw. England is -190. That means you're only going to, you got to lay 2 to get 1 almost on there. The USA is +475, which means if you bet $100, we will return $475 if the USA won. And the tie is +300. So all of the money is going on England right now, because on the points on the money line, You got England at 69% of the money and USA at 31%, but that can change between now and Friday.
Yeah, I wonder what the over. What about how big was that loss for? They were talking about Argentina getting beat by Saudi Arabia, maybe one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Cup.
That was absolutely a huge upset over in Europe. Over in the United States, still USA football.
Nobody was betting on that game. Yeah, right on.
There was not a lot on that. Now, the USA-England game yesterday was our second most bet game yesterday after Monday Night Football. So there is definitely interest in Team USA like there always was, but not as many people here in the States was on the Argentina. And like I said, that was a massive upset in the soccer world.
Well, the game of the weekend in college football is Ohio State-Michigan. Decides the champion of the Big Ten East, probably decides which one of those teams makes it to the college football playoff. Heck, man, I'm still with both of them. Who knows? What does Bet Saracen have on Ohio State-Michigan?
Well, right now we've got Ohio State minus 7.5. That's what the Ohio State horseshoe will get you there. You got to ask yourself after what happened last weekend with what happened with Tennessee, the close with TCU, is there room for both of these teams in the playoffs? So this game is almost for all the marbles here, especially when it comes to the Big Ten in the playoffs. And right now, if you look at what the betting public is doing, you've got 45% on Michigan and 55% on Ohio State. Kind of an evenly bet game, and 7.5 points is probably a pretty good line for that game. It's gonna be an early Saturday morning to get a good clear playoff picture.
All right, we'll leave it there. Well, go ahead. You got another one, Matt?
Well, I was just talking. We were talking about the hypotheticals. Does it factor anything with that running back from Michigan? Is he going to play? Is he healthy? Because that has to change the line. I think if he's not playing, I just don't see any way Michigan wins that game if he's not there.
I do see that, and I think that one is already factored into that 7.5 point line that you see there. If he's in that game, it may have been a 4-point game. But you got to give at least 3 points for it being at Ohio State too. So
right on.
That's the way I'm looking at that one.
Neil, thanks for hopping on during your travels. Safe second half of the trip. Have a great holiday. We'll revisit all this stuff again next week.
All right, we'll have fun. Everybody have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving.
Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen here on Halftime with us. Hey, you can also win $15,000 for rent or mortgage payments for a year at hitthatline.com right now. That's thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Matt Fowler at USA Mortgage and Mountain Home. Go to hitthatline.com. You'll see a $15,000 sweepstakes button. Click it, enter, and it's as easy as that. You do that through December the 12th, and the winner gets $15,000 to pay their rent or mortgage for a year. All the rules are at hitthatline.com, and it's courtesy of Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Matt Fowler at USA Mortgage and Mountain Home, and ESPN Arkansas. 877-377-6963. We're coming back with more Halftime into the home stretch.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest
They
way
might
to
go by
wager
different
on all
names,
your
but
favorite
all
sports,
prefer the same
contests,
thing.
and events
Bobby
with
Garland,
first-to-market
America's
odds
favorite,
and lines.
Blackbird,
Find
Slab,
reviews
Soccer
and
Leg,
news for
Paper
every
Mouth,
league,
Rappy,
including
Speck,
Major
Robbie
League
Bay.
Baseball,
I
NFL,
call it
NBA,
dinner.
NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lamley has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard. Unlike those other companies, items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
What about the night that makes you change? Yeah. Oh, from sweet to the range. What about my voice dancing who's been wrong to you?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hey, while you're letting everybody else do the cooking for you this week, get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina today. Tuesdays. You know what's going on a Tuesday on Joe's Grill and Cantina.
It's Taco Tuesday!
Got that right. $1 crispy tacos all day long. Beef or chicken crispy tacos, just $1. $2.95 for pork carnita tacos. $1 more for the brisket or pork belly tacos. And it's only $2.25 for a Bud Light draft. All day long at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Also a great place to watch the Razorback game on Friday against Mizzou. They got half-price apps and half-price taps during every televised Razorback game and a TV everywhere you look. You're never going to have your eyes off the game. And you get half-price apps and half-price beers all throughout the game. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. You can watch football and enjoy yourself. 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith, across from Harps, and open Tuesday, Saturday. Guys, the NCAA today has announced that Las Vegas is getting the 2028 Final Four. This is the first Final Four ever to be played in Las Vegas, Nevada. They've also announced that Ford Field in Detroit gets the Final Four in 2027. I know they've hosted it before. Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, 2029. 2030 Final Fours at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. And just like Chuck said earlier in the show, sports are now embracing Las Vegas in a way that they weren't allowed to in previous years. So it'd be pretty interesting to see that. And, hey, it's going to be at the same football stadium that maybe Arkansas plays in that bowl game. Very well could. 877-377-6963 for a call or a text on halftime. And Hog Noxious has given us a call from, it's Bobby in
Parts unknown.
I don't know where Hog Noxious lives. Yeah, parts unknown. That's right. Just like those weird wrestlers that didn't want to let us. The Moondogs were from parts unknown. What's up, Hog Noxious?
Well, I think Twitter may not be broken down, but I'm not sure it's operating properly. I'm not seeing a lot of posts on social media about all the football coaches that should be fired this week. I don't know it may not actually be working right.
Give it another week. We'll see what happens on Friday. So you're obviously referring to the Arkansas football coaches, because there's plenty of other fan bases that are clamoring for changes.
Oh, my goodness. And people in Arkansas really, in the middle of Saturday, somebody said, well, what would it take to get that TCU coach to come here? Come on, bud. How about a job opening? We don't look at all of the people that thought firing their coach and getting a new coach would help them. All of us were pining and hoping that we could be in the Brent Venables sweepstakes, because that was the guy that everybody wanted, and he never seemed to leave Clemson. And then finally he got that Oklahoma job, and holy smokes, they'd like to have a do-over on that one.
Well, it's just a day. It's just 1 year. I don't know if I'd say that they want to.
I would say it might be early yet.
On it. It's a little
early maybe so.
Your point is very well taken, Hog Noxious, and I can just remember. I don't remember, all of the tweets and the calls that we did get, but it would have been what, mid-May. A lot of folks thought the game had passed by Dave Van Horn. I don't think they were thinking that about a month later. So we're just prisoners of the moment when it comes to this sometimes.
Very much so. Remember that as of now, Sam Pittman has winning records over both Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach, whom some people very much wanted as coach instead of Sam Pittman. Also,
we'll find out whether or not he gets the winning record against Drinkwitz if we're going with the coaches that were hired at the same time.
Oh, don't break my heart. And here's the other thing. We're talking about bowl games. If we don't win that game Saturday, and again, it can't be emphasized enough, we have never won up there. I don't understand why you people can't hate Missouri with those ugly uniforms and that ugly university and we got to win this game. If we don't, we're looking at the Gasparilla Bowl as a good option, because the other option is the Birmingham Bowl. Clay, would you say that's the worst possible bowl destination for a SEC team?
Which one?
The Birmingham Bowl.
That's what Auburn played last year, I think.
Well, I think it would be worse for Alabama or Auburn than it would be for Arkansas.
Well, yeah, I suppose you're right. I detest that bowl muchly.
I like the stadium. They play at UAB, right?
I think that's right.
I think initially
I
that
like
was
their
played
stadium.
at Legion Field. Then they moved it to the nicer football stadium that was brand new.
Okay, well, maybe that's what I'm remembering is when we used to play at Legion Field. That was.
Oh no, that was a
it was just a horrible bowl game. Everything about it was bad.
And my brother-in-law and sister had to go there 4 years in a row. It might have been 3, but I'm stretching it as a fish story a little, because I think Pitt played in that bowl game 3 or 4 years in a row. And you're like, gosh, this is like purgatory, for crying out loud. Can we just get out of here?
They once had the Hall of Fame Bowl in Birmingham, and Arkansas played Tulane there. Holtz was the coach. and it was frigid. And nobody remembers that one. Yep.
Oh, it was awful.
That's like before your time, Bobby, right?
Like, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, no, I'm afraid not. I'm an old man.
Hognoxious, I wouldn't mind a cold weather bowl game if it was like, the Fenway Bowl or the Pinstripe Bowl, one of those that's actually played in a really cool venue that doesn't host football very often. And I wouldn't mind going to Nashville for the Music City. I think that'd be fun too. NFL Stadium, although it's going to be replaced.
You got to be better than 6-6.
Think so.
To go to Music City, I think so.
Oh yeah, I tell you about you. Honest to goodness, you're 6-6. You're going to Gasparillo, or are you going to the?
I think winning this game, it kind of gives us an option. I think when you get down to it, they're like, which one do you want to go to almost? And you kind of get to pick instead of just like taking what's left. So that's, 100% we need to win this game.
Absolutely. All right.
75 changes everything.
Right.
Last on my list is the people that spent a bunch of Saturday saying that the teams they were watching, namely TCU and maybe Michigan, are not playoff teams. Okay? I'll listen to you say that, as long as you're not going to start talking about we need more than 4 playoff teams. Because if you're going to have more than 4 playoff teams, these are the teams you're going to get. And if you don't think they're playoff teams now, don't decide you need more playoff teams. Because that's what you're going to get, is teams that, if you have 12 teams, you're going to have at least 4 of them that spent 1 or 2 games during the season not looking like they belonged in postseason football.
I don't know. I see TCU's record, and I think they belong in the playoff. I see Michigan's record, and I think they belong in the playoff. At this point of the year, I will say it a million times, you are what your record says you are. And if they're undefeated, and if they're a Power 5 school, then I'm sorry. If there are less than 5 undefeated teams in the country, then they belong there. They just do. You are what your record is on November the 22nd.
Absolutely. Here.
So,
Bill Elson for commissioner.
The problem that I have about people that criticize the Big 12, it's like, well, Oklahoma and Texas are down. Well, they're down because other teams are beating them.
Yes, that's right.
That doesn't make it a weak conference. I think TCU, is legitimate and they deserve to be there. Now they're not there yet.
That's true.
They lose in their conference championship, and that can happen because they're not just light years ahead of who they're going to play. But they're not in yet. And I think that the Michigan-Ohio State game, the Big Ten is hoping for a close game.
Just 2 games.
One of them get eliminated if it's.
All right, Hognoxious, good to hear from you, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, man. See y'all.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap things up in just a moment. First, hey, this week, you probably never had this before at your Thanksgiving dinner. You might want to try it. Lark, full-spectrum seltzer brought to you by Washita Farms. You get a buzz, no booze, though, in Lark. It's got the right balance of hemp-derived THC.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner.
Open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you can save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, a deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas, or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com. Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of your roof? Liberty Roofing of Fort Smith and the surrounding area is here and ready to serve you. Liberty Roofing is here for all your roofing needs. Quality roofing services, licensed, insured, and certified. Give Liberty Roofing a call at 650-6231 to get started for a free roof inspection and estimate. Call 650-6231. Liberty Roofing is here to tend to all your roofing needs. Let Liberty Roofing cover you. Check us out on Facebook.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers wants to help feed your family this holiday season. Have the pros at Arts smoke or deep fry your turkey or smoke your ham. Arts has affordable Thanksgiving packages available for any size family or crowd. Or drop your turkey or ham off and Arts will take it from there. Arts Barbecue and Burgers, much more than their famous barbecue and burgers during the holiday season. From turkey to desserts, Arts Barbecue and Burgers, next to Buddy's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Let Arts help you with your Thanksgiving spread.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I love a show like this, guys. Clay, Matt, we got all this stuff on our rundown. We barely got to any of it, and yet we're almost through 3 hours of what's been
fun show.
I think
what a good,
great show today.
Man, I really am enjoying it. I know I say this all the time, but man, it's been fun working with you guys.
Same feeling.
I don't mind hearing a broken record as long as it's a song I like to hear over and over again.
And a compliment as a broken record, you'll take that.
I don't know how to take compliments.
I've done radio for a long time, and I think I've had more fun on this midday show. And maybe it's just 2 years with Ty, like ruined me.
Well, we all get a little more crotchety in the morning. I think I'd have the same issue. And I got along with Ty for the most part for 2 years. Mornings be a different story, perhaps.
I like to do the workout before the show. You know, like if we had to do the show that early in the morning, I wouldn't be able to work out. I have to work out after. But now with this midday show, you know, I can do my workout. And so you're kind of run. You get that grouchiness out of you a little bit.
Yeah, you get to
go out and run some line drills, man.
Well, you know, I don't know how much I run anymore, but it's definitely the old coach's workout. You know, your old Lewis Campbell. It's you'd see him in there every time you go in there. You'd see him. They'd be either in the steam room or on the stair stepper or the treadmill or the elliptical. Yeah, they just get
maybe like a light drag. You're just sort of lightly dragging yourself down the track.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
Just got to do something though, right? Like. Stretch real good.
Shannon and Clute said
Good for the
Independence Bowl. The Independence Bowl, according to Shannon, is the worst because it's in Shreveport.
I don't know. We won a bowl game there. I can't talk about it. It's my only bowl win I got, so I gotta say good things about that one.
One of the worst baseball parks I've ever seen was just across the parking lot from the I Bowl in Shreveport, old Fairgrounds Field.
Beat those Missouri Tigers.
They had more bat crap on the stairs than they had baseballs to use. It was really a disgusting place, and the thing's been torn down too.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't even exist anymore, right?
Thank goodness. It shouldn't have existed. Probably 10 years after it was opened. The Independence Bowl is different, though. I mean, that's a historic bowl, right? I mean, I don't mind Shreveport. It's good food, places to go.
Phil, did you
Not
ever
an
see
SEC
Ray
bowl
Winder
though anymore?
When you're at the bowl game, you don't do any of that stuff. You know, you're just there and you're practicing. You go eat, and that's about it.
Yeah, when I'm going there as a broadcaster, I'm looking for things to do.
Yeah, I understand.
What was your question, Clay?
Did you ever see Ray Winder Field?
Me? Yeah, I mean, I did 6 years at Ray Winder Field.
You did 6 years there. See, I wouldn't. I just couldn't put it all together. The timeline.
Yeah, I worked 6 seasons at old Ray Winder Field in Little Rock, the former home of the Travelers, and that place was 30 million times better than Fairgrounds Field.
It had some
even though
coolness
it was
about
opened
it,
like
didn't it?
50 years prior. Yeah, there wasn't anything attractive about that old park in Shreveport, but Little Rock's old park, man, that was
venerable
unique place.
Ray Winder Field.
Yes, you had to use the word venerable to throw in there. That's right. Venerable was the nice way to say this is fun and it's really old.
It's really old.
It was a great place, though. Yeah, there's too much to get into some other things. We got a text out of the 615 remembers the 84 Liberty Bowl against Auburn as one of the coldest experiences of this listener's life.
It was cold, yep. There's been several Liberty Bowls that were cold.
And you don't think of Memphis as a cold weather bowl city. Hey, remember, Little Rock was like in contention for a bowl game a few years ago, but it got shut down. I think, what was the city that got it instead? Montgomery? I think the Camellia Bowl instead of Little Rock.
Bowl.
You could imagine a bowl game at War Memorial Stadium. They put a little bit more money into it.
So I go back to when they were going to have the aluminum bowl there.
Yeah, wasn't that like an NAIA championship they used to play at War Memorial?
Yeah.
Called it a bowl game. Hey, Clay, we're not on Thursday. Have a great Thanksgiving, man.
I'll think about y'all. I really will.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for all three of you.
Happy Thanksgiving, Clay.
All right, well, the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out soon. Ruskin and Zach will take you right up to 6:30 for the beginning of the Razorback Creighton broadcast, and we're back with you tomorrow. So for Matt Jones, Matt Travis, and Clay Henry, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.